All right, welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast. I am Midnight, and I am here with Darkness
Hello.
and Mythic.
I'm a hemalurgist now.
Are you a hemal? You're a
Yep.
hemalurgist? You're an
Yep.
inquisitor.
I'm a hemalurgist now. I'm gonna be an inquisitor.
See,
100% want to jam a fucking spike into my heart, my eyes, my
gosh.
brain. Ugh, lovely.
uh, but yeah, we're here with chapters 1 through 6 of the Hero of Ages. From Mistborn Era 1. It is the final book in the trilogy. We're finally starting, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be very excited to get lots and lots of answers this book.
Yeah. Well, we find out what this medal that you told us about in last book did. Finally.
Finally get Electra, yay!
And I think I was right. So whoop. I mean, not really, because I thought Electrum was the other thing, but I did have that on here. I think the opposite of gold. So, all right, let's go.
Yeah. So chapter 1, which starts part 1, which is called "The Legacy of the Survivor," and it has, I think, the shortest epigraph in this book because all of them are like a fucking paragraph or two.
They were very long.
This one says, "I am unfortunately the hero of ages."
Unfortunately.
So my question for this is, do you think that these epigraphs are written in the present or the future? Because based on the next epigraphs in this episode, it does not seem to be in the past.
I think it's the future.
Yeah.
Yep, Sam. I think it's the future, but simply because of my audiobook making the sound of a voice that I very well know.
I'm sorry, the audiobook gives a specific voice.
Yep. There. Yep. And I mean,
give.
if you remember me making comments constantly about every time that the epigraph came up, it sounded like Says is talking to me.
Is it still?
Same voice? Yeah. Oh, it's even more now. Like, one of the epigraphs even made it like his little speech thing that he does.
I'm not going to say if that's correct or not, but they really shouldn't be giving a specific voice for the Hero of Ages.
I agree with you. But even if it wasn't, there was an epigraph. I don't remember which one it was. There's an epigraph though where, like, even the way that it was read, yeah, even the way it said, it's like, that's exactly what he does. Like, so the fuck? Like, all the other epigraphs before
does
this
have a very specific speech pattern.
Yeah, I think it's like this. I think.
Anyways, going off what Darkness said about being the future, how far in the future do you think? Do you think it's like written like at the end of the book, or do you think it's written like far in the future, like between Mistborn Era 1 and Mistborn Era 2, or do you think it's like even farther in the future?
I think it's right at, like, the end of the book when Sace becomes a god. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Sace becomes a god.
Yep. What do you think, Darkness?
I think it's after.
You think it's like between, like right after, or do you think it's like between kind of the two eras, like a while in the future?
I think it's a while in the future.
I think it's the I believe that got me. I was like, okay.
Hearing about what Mythic said about the voice, Darkness, do you believe that Sace is the Hero of Ages, or do you think this is going to be some sort of like trick?
You know, maybe I'm wrong, and it's like within this book, but I feel like they could just be using Sace to write it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I thought originally. If you remember, like that, because he's what's the word? He's like translating all of them. So, like, every time he translates, it would, like, come out that, like, he's reading it to us, is what I originally thought. This book, however, there's nothing for him to be translating that I know of. So I assume, okay, well, maybe it's him.
Do you think maybe it is possible then that the Hero of Ages writes something and Says survives this book and translates it from some sort of like god text, or like from like hearing from whoever the Hero of Ages becomes?
I mean, I don't know about that, because he speaks about himself quite a lot. I took this power. I became familiar with this and that. Like, he's talking about himself in most of them. So I feel like it's probably.
You think it's more like thoughts?
Yeah,
like trying to
he's
like
talking.
write
Yeah,
something
he's either writing it himself or he's like talking out loud, because we find out later about, like, telling people things could also be a thing. So maybe he's these are just his thoughts or something.
I'm a little sad that the audiobook kind of potentially
Fucks
gives
it
you
up. Fucks it up. Yeah.
As I said, you may not be correct. I don't want to give a positive.
I mean,
or negative.
I have a theory. We'll get to it at the end, but
Okay.
I have a theory on why it's like that.
Okay.
But we'll get, like I said, I mean, I've been saying it for like the entire time, though.
You did say for a bit in the last book.
I think Seize is going to become a god. Seize is going to be a god of religion or something. I don't know what, but he's going to be a god. This man is awesome.
You sure he's not an atheist?
He's not a fucking atheist. Fuck that shit. He's in grief, okay? He's in grief. My boy Seize, man.
Let's get into the actual chapter. So we start with the point of view of a man named Fatron, who is apparently in charge of a town named Vetiton. He's speaking to a man named Druffle, who says the Kolos are likely about an hour out of their town. Fatron asks if Druffle believes that what the people say about the world ending is true, and Druffle says he doesn't know and doesn't care, since the Kolos are likely to kill him anyways. Fatron thinks about how when the lords had left the town, he had been the one to make sure the Ska kept planting food, and he had also kept the press gangs away. Fatron says out loud to Druffle that the mist stayed out until noon, and that their plants likely won't survive, meaning they won't have enough food to last through winter, and Druffle replies that they likely won't last until nightfall. Fatron thinks that his brother Druffle used to be an optimist. What were your first thoughts on Fatron and Druffle?
Weird names.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally the only thing I could think of when they originally were putting out. I was like, oh, Darkness is going to love these names. They're unique.
All I can think of is, like, it sounds like Fat Run, and then, like, I think of Duffel Bag.
That man has the runs.
I was thinking of truffles.
Yeah, that man has
truffles.
The runs. Interesting.
But I didn't like that one dude. What's his name?
Druffle?
Or whatever.
You want Fatron?
I don't like later, but
Fatron's done his best.
What?
I feel like he's worked hard. I respect Fatron. So a young boy named Sev then runs over and says that a man is coming. The two men follow Sev around to the front gate, where ash had piled up as the woman had been working in the fields instead of cleaning since the men were training for war. For a moment,
they said this man showing up, I'm like, I know who that is.
For a moment, Fatron wonders if he should have had the men working mines instead of training, but knows that Kolos wouldn't take bribes. They would just kill. Apparently, a larger town nearby called Garthwood had fallen to the Kolos about 3 months ago, and only a few hundred had survived and made their way to Bediton. Druffle and Fatron wonder who the man riding on a horse may be. A Kolos scout is highly unlikely, as they wouldn't send a scout, let alone a human one, and a merchant is also unlikely, as he seems to have no wares. Once the man gets to the gate, he shoots up into the air using allomancy and lands on top of it. He's wearing a white uniform under his cloak and has a beard and short hair. The man pulls the sword from Druffle's hand to him and compliments the weapon and asks if the rest of the men are as well equipped. So, did you figure out who it was before they gave a name?
I knew it was Ellen. Yeah, I knew it was Ellen the moment they said the man is riding into town. I'm like, yeah, it's Ellen.
Did you figure it out pretty quickly, Darkness?
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't expect Ellen to take action after, like, becoming
just like the fucking dot that was in the air, I was like, yep, that's Ben.
And then the second dot, did you figure who that was?
I did not, honestly. But
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So they ask who the man is, but he doesn't reply. He just asks about the bulwark and how many gates there are, which there's just one. He then says to let his horse in through the gate. Fatron thinks how easily the soldiers obey the stranger and how easily the stranger is able to command them. Fatron asks who the man is, and he says he is Ellen Venture, their emperor. Neither Fatron nor Druffle seem to like the idea of their emperor.
Uh-huh.
What did you think about Ellen calling himself an emperor instead of king?
Well, I mean, his fiance, wife, forgot. They're actually married.
Yep, they are married.
Worst fucking wedding I've ever seen, but whatever.
I think it was cute.
Stupid ass wedding.
What part? The part where they rushed through it, or the part where they fucking didn't do shit?
Alright, we're married, but
I don't know. I thought it suited Vin, that sort of wedding.
Yeah, but his fuck, I don't remember where I was going with this now. Fuck.
I think you were gonna say that.
Because his wife had stated he's the emperor. He's now just going with it.
Yeah.
And I think it suits him with the way he's acting. So.
I mean, yeah. So Ellen then starts ordering them to get their people together and have all the elderly and children hide in the southernmost part of the town, as the Kolas will come from the north. He states that there is a slim hope their blood frenzy will end while searching the town for people, and the people can sneak away while the Kolas are looting the town. The soldiers are whispering behind Fat Ren as he follows Ellen. Apparently they had all heard stories of him taking over after the Lord Ruler's death, killing his own father, and hiding his nature as a Mistborn, and marrying the woman who had killed the Lord Ruler. However, Fat Ren thinks that these are likely mostly legends, more legends than truth, and doesn't think such an important man would come here when the southern dominance doesn't have much to offer. Although the fact the man is an Allomancer gives some credit to it. What did you think about all these rumors about Ellen going around? I mean, he definitely wasn't the one who killed his father, first of all.
He wasn't?
No, Vin killed.
I
No,
know,
Vin
I'm
killed
joking.
him.
I'm
Yeah.
joking.
What?
I read the book, guys.
Did you?
But okay. Maybe. You'll never know. But, I mean, like, nah, they're all a bunch of gossips. It makes sense.
What do you think, Mythic?
What? That he's lying to people?
No, just about like what the rumors are going around about Ellen.
I mean, it's the same rumors that happened before. With Vin, though. Like,
Yeah.
rumor. That's what happens with rumors.
So Ellen notices an old ministry building, but Fat Ren says they didn't get the weapons from there, but from the Lord's Manor, as he seemed to expect to come back, but the soldiers had deserted for a passing army while waiting for his return. Fat Ren also says that they fought bandits, but not Kolas, as anyone who fights Kolas dies, although Ellen states that he'd fought Kolas over a dozen times and did not die. He also says he'll teach their captives some tips on fighting Kolas, and they can pass them down to their soldiers. Were you surprised to hear that Ellen had fought Kolas over a dozen times?
He's got to practice, right? I mean,
Yes,
especially after we learn later.
Considering that he fought a Kolas while not a Mistborn, I'm not
Yep.
surprised that he fought many while,
Yeah, you think if he can kill one as like a normal person, he should be able to kill some as a Mistborn.
I mean, I was more surprised later with the way that they fight, the two, him and Vin fight, but I was like, he seemed like he knew how to fight better, in my opinion. He knew how to fight better when he wasn't Mistborn. I feel like the power kind of fucked him over.
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just doesn't seem. He seems like he's not confident in his own power. Like he's not as like fluid with what he's doing. He knows the basics, but he doesn't understand like in the very first book, Vin was like doing some the magical ass shit when she fought off all those fucking
well, I mean,
Inquisitors.
I think he does say though that like he's taken more to emotional allomancy than he has to like he's not as good at the other stuff that Vin's good at, like Iron and Steel.
But even he states even that Vin has told him that his allomancy is stronger than normal, and it's like he still second guesses himself on certain things.
I think it's more that like he may have the strength, but like you still need like skill and finesse to use it well. Like just because it's stronger doesn't mean you're gonna be better with it.
I think it's more that he sucks.
Yeah, I agree. I think he got this power, but he's not able to use it really that well yet. Like he wasn't born with it. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen My Hero Academia. The best way to do it would be to say like Deku got power, and then he tried to use it at 100%, and he never really could because his body wasn't ready for it. Where
broke all his.
Vin has always been a Mistborn, so her power, she learned over time how to basically, tap in and use the power, and it just scaled from there. He's literally just like thrown into this world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even
she literally. I'm sorry. She literally states in the beginning that it feels like it's like natural to her,
Yeah, like it does come naturally.
It was and also, too. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Although she didn't like know she was a Mistborn, she still had like trace metals that she was using unconsciously like her whole life. So I think when she started training, like I think that's probably also why she might have like she's also supposed to be like really good, but I think that's probably also why she caught on quicker than technically Kelsier thought she would, because Kelsier technically snapped at the pits, but Vin snapped as like a toddler or something. So like
she was a Mistborn to start this book.
Although it seemed like she had just as much time as Kelsier and was like getting stronger than him, she technically had like 16, 18 years as of the first book.
I forgot snapping was a thing, though.
I know, right?
No, snapping is a thing.
I mean, but is it really though? Because Ellen just got given the fucking power and he didn't snap.
He swallowed.
Well,
Yeah.
so well, yeah, you don't have to, I think, snap if you get the power from the well the way he did, like through that bead of metal. But like, if you have it through genetics, you still need to snap to like gain access to the power, even if you have it in your genetics. Because like Finn had
Okay.
this. Every other Elementor we know besides probably the Lord Ruler and Elend, they've had to snap at some point. But yeah, so one of the soldiers had asked if Ellen brought an army, and he says he brought two, but they can't wait for them. Ellen then meets
I
Fatran's.
brought two.
He meets Fatran's eyes and says he came as Fatran asked in his letter, which is a lie, but Fatran realizes it is so that Fatran can give up control without looking bad in front of the villagers. Druffle is upset about this and walks off, and Fatran asks who Elend really is. He says he doesn't believe Elend when Elend insists he is himself, but he'll do it. But he'll do what he says anyways because he's an Alamancer, and those are kind of scary and shit. He's like, oh, yeah, you're an Alamancer. I'll just do what you say, I guess.
I'll just do it. I mean, it's not like you're gonna stop. It's not like I can do anything about it. You know?
Yeah. So Ellen then reveals that there are 10,000 Koloss on their way to the city, which apparently they didn't realize how many Koloss were coming. They're like, oh fuck. He also calls Fatran by Lord Fatran and says he can choose a surname later. He also says
the
that
dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
he's like, you're a lord now. Have fun.
Yeah.
He also says in exchange for helping Lord Fatran, we'll have to swear fealty to him, and he'll take control even if he doesn't. Fatran calls him a
Lord
tyrant.
Batman.
And Ellen agrees that he is a tyrant. He then says he used to think that he could do things differently, and he wants to in the future, but right now he has no choice. He says he needs Fatran City, which confuses the man, but Ellen doesn't explain further. At this point, why did you think Ellen needed the city?
I just assumed he was getting more like shit behind him.
Just trying to grow his dominance, his empire.
Yep.
That's what I thought at first when they didn't mention that they needed the city specifically. And then I remembered that there was like a map thing in the last book, right? So I figured it was related to that.
Good job figuring that out. Proud of you.
Ew.
Oh, it's really cringe. I apologize. I'm really out of it. So Ellen then goes to the captains of the small army and tells them his tips on Koloss. He explains that they don't fight with coordination and won't help each other. They will be forward and predictable with their attacks, but they're still stronger. He suggests having 2 men per smaller Koloss and 3 or 4 against the larger ones. Ellen also says not to chase any Koloss into the city, as the civilians will be hidden and hopefully not found by the Koloss. He also suggests attacking the legs of larger Koloss first and being careful not to get weapons stuck in the loose skin of the smaller ones. What do you think about the tips on fighting Koloss?
You know, for a moment throughout this whole thing, in the back of my mind and in the front of it, actually, I was like, okay, Ellen's setting them up to get fucked over. Like, he's trying to get them to get confident, trying to make them go to war so their defenses go down, and then taking over the city. You know, like, I'm in my head, I was painting him as the whole bad guy, bro.
Damn.
Because he seems so different, and the way he was conducting himself, like, I'm the one in charge here, like, I'm gonna fuck you all up if you don't fucking listen. You know? Like,
they've had a hard year. I don't think it's been a year yet, though. Did we find it in the prologue? I'm trying to remember. I think we did find out in the prologue. It's been another year. But yeah, he's had a hard year. Did you want to say anything about that mythic?
No.
Oh, you liked the Koloss tips?
Yep, I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah. So once Elend has done his speech and the captains have gone off to talk to their soldiers, Fatran says they'll still be defeated because they are outnumbered. Elend says they won't be defeated because they have him. Someone then shouts out that the Koloss have been spotted making camp, and Elend suggests attacking them while they are distracted and tired and before they start up their blood frenzy. Fatran asks about the bulwark, but Elend says it won't do much against the larger Koloss and that the Koloss will eventually end up taking the high ground against them. Fatran tries to protest, but Elend just gives him a stare that says he is in charge. Ellen then charges forward, and after some hesitation, Fatran follows, as do the soldiers. We kind of already talked about it, but my question here was, like, what did you think of Ellen's kind of new... He's kind of like how he's changed since the last book.
I mean, I think it's great.
What do you think, Dickness?
No. I want to go back to when he used to go to, like, ballrooms and stuff.
you liked Noble Society Elend over Emperor Elend?
Yeah.
I see.
I think he's awesome now. little too big for his britches, but awesome.
I don't trust that he's gonna make things go smoothly.
Hmm.
I feel like he's gonna like overstep and just fall.
So chapter 2, our epigraph is holding the power did strange things to my mind. In just a few moments, I became familiar with the power itself, with its history, and with the ways it might be used. Yet, this knowledge was different from experience or even the ability to use that power. For instance, I knew how to move a planet in the sky, yet I didn't know where to place it so it wouldn't be too close or too far from the sun. Because of the other epigraphs, my question here was more, what do you think about what the history of the power is? Because he says he became familiar with the history of the power and the ways it might be used.
We already.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Go on,
What
Darkness.
was the question? Rephrase it.
What do you think
Repeat
like
it.
the history of the power is? Like, do you have any thoughts about like where it came
Oh,
from, what its history is?
so when I read that, I thought about it more of like the people that have used it already
Mm-hmm.
and like what they've done with it, more than where it came from.
Well, yeah, that was kind of part of the question as well. It's just like where it came from, but also yeah, like what it's done in the past. So,
Okay, so this is why I think Sazed is a god or something to that extent. Okay, because way before it states that if when they take the power from the well, they get like an immense knowledge of like everything.
Mhm.
And so I'm thinking a different well, not obviously the well that they went to. They're gonna go to the well that's probably got like preservation in it or something. I don't know, because that's the only other thing I could think of. And then he's going to release preservation, and preservation is going to give him either their power, or Says is just going to take the well's power for himself, and then he's going to be, he'll know everything, and that's kind of what I think the knowledge thing is. He drank from the well or whatever. He took the power, and then now he knows like what the Lord Ruler, what Rorschach did. He knows like before time. He knows how to defeat Ruin, probably, like stuff like that. Like, I mean, I think this is in the future, so I think they've already defeated Ruin, and he's just telling the tale.
Mm-hmm.
But still,
I
I think
want this to be like him writing it down right before they all die.
We're all dead.
So also, I just had a thought. If you think Sazed is the hero of ages, do you think Vin technically is also one, or do you have to go specifically to, as you said, the preservation well instead, and maybe she got tricked into going to the wrong well?
No, I don't think there's an actual Hero of Ages. I think Hero of Ages is a title given to those who help in like the heat of like the emotion and all of that. So like I think all of them are in some way a hero, and so I think he's just using it as a title. At least it's in my opinion.
Do you have any thoughts, Darkness?
I do, but it's because I was thinking about other stuff. So I'll say it later because I just came up with a theory.
Okay.
Oh, another theory.
Don't forget it.
That's a book theory.
All right, so we get Tensoon's point of view. I love Tensoon's point
Bro,
of view.
I love this chapter so much.
I was hoping he was gonna die every second of it.
I love
was like,
Tensoon.
I can't wait for him to die, and then we go into this podcast, and I can gloat in her face that he died.
Tensoon's great. We get his point of views.
Fuck him.
So Tensoon's point of view as he sits in darkness. Which I just realized is worded really weirdly.
I love the fact that you just had to pause there.
I just had a moment where I'm like, that was.
Damn, Darkness, he's sitting in you, huh?
I seem to be having a lot in me, huh?
He knows.
I wonder if that's a kink thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
God.
Anyways, he knows that this is partially because he has no eyes, but due to being of the third generation and thus old enough and experienced enough to know how to make eyes without something to copy, he could technically make them. However, they wouldn't do well without his skulls. They'd kind of just like he wouldn't be able to like move them properly, and like they might just get crushed by his own weight.
Where would he get one of those?
Why wouldn't he just like pull a Gary
skull?
from SpongeBob and just like make antennas?
Apparently he can't. But anyway, so Tensoon.
Probably could.
I don't know if they have. Yeah, he might not know how to do that. I don't think he's ever. Probably,
I don't think he's watched SpongeBob.
I don't think he's ever copied a creature that has antennae with eyes. Anyways, Tensu notes that he is in his prison with no bones, and thus it's just a grouping of translucent muscles like a large slug. However, without a skeleton, he's basically impotent. His only sense right now was a mixture of smell and taste through his skin, which he can only scent his own excrement at the moment. Lovely. Tensu doesn't want to turn off this sense, though, even with that disgustingness, because it was the only connection with the world at the moment.
It's my only connection to the world!
He notes that his cell is basically just a stone pit with a grate up top for food and water to be poured down onto him, and another grate at the bottom for excrement to be washed away. Both
so he can drink from it. It's to pour onto him.
Yeah, pours onto him and he ingests it through his skin.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of their body they can lose before they're considered,
dead.
They can't anymore unless they die. Yeah.
I don't know. Apparently, he was very scared about acid. So.
Yeah, but that's different because when they pick him up,
grab him with some hooks. We'll get there. Where was I? Both grates are too small for him to go through, as he notes. Even a grouping of muscles can only squeeze small enough to some extent. Tensoon also notes that most people would have gone mad down here for who knows how, as he's been down here for who knows how long, possibly months. However, he has the blessing of presence, so his mind is stronger. What do you think the blessing of presence is?
Oh, that was capitalized. So I was like,
yes.
That's something.
Blessing of presence is capitalized for Mythic's. Just in case you were unaware, Mythic.
That made me think okay, I guess blessings are a thing from this fucking world or whatever, and I feel like it would be, since they derive from preservation or whatever, it's a blessing derived from that specific deity, because it would make sense, a blessing of presence from preservation.
Yeah. He also implies that, with the way it's worded, it's implied that not every conjurer has the blessing of presence. He specifically has the blessing of presence. Do you think?
I'm assuming it's because he's older, and also we don't know what position he first had.
What did you think about what do you think about the blessing of presence, Mythic?
Give me 1 second, sorry.
Yep.
I wonder what exactly that entails, though. Is it a mind, sort of stabilization feature, or
Well, he specifically says that he can't go mad because of it.
Yeah, but to what extent?
We don't know yet.
Because I'm pretty sure you can go mad without actually going mad. If you know what I mean, you can you can show all the characteristics, but you can just put it in the back of your head. The fact that you're actually cognitive to what you're doing, ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if there is a blessing of what was it?
I'm sorry.
Essence.
I'm back.
I want to know what the opposite is.
I was seeing if my brother wanted food.
No problem.
Okay. All right. You asked something and I wasn't paying attention. What was it?
Yeah. Sorry. I think Dark was just in the middle of something. Do you want to just finish your thought?
No, I'm done.
Okay. So Mythic, my question was, what do you think about this blessing of presence that Tensoon mentions?
Can you refresh me on when he says this?
Yeah.
I can't remember that at all.
Okay, I can reread this little paragraph. Mm-hmm. So Tensoon also knows that most people would have gone mad by now down here, as he's been here for who knows how long, possibly months. However, he has the blessing of presence, so his mind is stronger.
Interesting. I don't even remember that, to be honest.
Yeah, and just so you know, because you're an audiobook listener, blessing of presence is capitalized.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I heard Darkness say something about it being possibly a part of preservation, but
yeah, Darkness said he thinks that preservation might have given these blessings,
given life to them. Well, I mean, I kind of already made the assumption that preservation made the whatever and Kolos, and the Kolos were made from ruin or made of ruin or something to that extent. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I had that in the last book. But then you made the comment about, well, how does that make them cousins? And I was like, I don't know.
There's also the issue that Midnight said that not all conjure have the blessing.
Yeah, so the way this is worded in the book as well is that he says he specifically has the blessing of presence, so it's kind of implied that not all conjure have the blessing of presence.
I mean, it might be a thing that comes later,
Yeah, I think that's what Dark...
You have to know your god very well. I mean, it is stated later that he's pretty knowledgeable about things.
Yeah,
you know?
he says he's older. He's part of the third generation, and Darkness does
Or
also say
third
that.
generation. That's the craziest thing to me.
Yes, he is of the third
Yeah, so
generation.
I love how we learned like so much about them already. Like,
I know,
I know,
in
right?
this short
from
chapter.
from this short little bit.
Yeah, so Tenzin also notes that although he has a mind and can think, he has no brain and doesn't understand how he can think without a brain. He wonders if the first generation may know about this, but if they did, they don't tell others.
No, they don't.
My question here was, what do you think about there being like these different generations, and like how far between the different generations do you think there are? Because we know that Tenzin considers himself old as part of the third generation, but we don't have a number for how many generations there are.
I think the first generation is as old as like
The 1,000 years or whatever that
yeah,
when
like
they
at the
were
very beginning.
supposedly created. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think so Tensun, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's considered old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming there's like quite a bit of generations. So I'm assuming that like, so I feel like if it would be 1,000, I'd feel like it makes sense for it to be like up to like, for some reason I don't know why, but I feel like it makes sense for them to be up to like the 10th generation.
You think like one every 100 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, possible. I think it's 250. I think there have been 4 generations, but it's highly possible because like later when he's on trial or whatever the fuck they want to call that, he states that they're not going by whatever the laws are or something like that very well. Like they're
Yeah,
skirting them very heavily, and that's something that much further down the generation would possibly
it's
do.
like it washes out.
Yeah.
Also, I was also thinking about later when he was describing how it takes time for them to, do all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense if they struggle to do the same stuff as they like the older generation does,
Yeah.
if they're like
Yeah.
hella new. Oh, and we do know that it does take time for Miss Race. I think it was Miss Race, which is just Contra but younger. Like it takes time for them to like grow.
Mature.
Yeah.
Mature.
So, what part were we in?
So yeah, so he thinks that they can't keep him here forever because of the first contract, but also doubts that the first generation would even pay attention to the first contract anymore. He can't blame them much though, since he is a contract breaker himself. Tenzin thinks that breaking his contract is punishable by death, but it's the least of his crimes as he has also betrayed his people's secrets, which he only told to the second generation, which is why he is not dead already. They couldn't kill him until they know who he is told. He felt he should be disgusted with himself, but he felt he's also done the right thing. So what do you think about the fact that generally you'd be like killed for breaking your contract, but like the fact that he's told their secrets, they're like, we can't even kill you, and he obviously hasn't told them that who he's told. So like he's keeping a secret that Vin is the one who knows.
Told? Who?
Well, one, it makes sense that they would instantly kill them for being,
Traitors. Yeah.
I was gonna say an oath breaker because of the fucking
Traitor.
things we've been playing, but yeah, essentially, and
Oathbreaker.
it would make sense that they would kill him instantly, but it also makes sense that they don't, considering that he did, spill a major secret about how their whole fucking weaknesses work.
Major secret.
But like, what does that do? Like, isn't one of their rules that they can't fucking kill someone? So what does knowing?
Well, I
who
mean,
told,
they can't
like,
kill humans.
They can't kill humans. They can kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, what does that, like, what does that do? Because obviously they're not gonna hold him there if they think he just like told another contract, right?
Well, they obviously know he must have admitted that he told a person, like a human.
Which, like, a human, exactly. So what are they gonna do if they find out?
Well, considering they want to know, I mean, I think it can be implied that they probably would go and kill the person that he's told.
But isn't that against like their thing?
Yeah, right. I get where you're going.
That's true.
This,
yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Like, that's the one part I didn't understand about that whole like keeping him there part, because like, what would they do? Would they just? Oh, I guess they could just imprison them, right? Because Tenzin does say that technically they managed to follow the like contract rules or whatever.
But not like they follow it, but like they're skirting the line basically.
Yeah.
Like later when they hand him his skull, but are going to kill him immediately anyways.
Like real religion,
Yeah, pretty much. Far off from real religion, 100%.
Yeah, they're obviously like not really abiding by their rules super well. They're like, it's kind of a weird thing.
They're like, I
They
can
would
like,
say they were. They would say they were abiding by their rules just fine.
Yeah, well, we don't know what their
They're
thoughts
gonna-
are. We only get Tensoon's thoughts here. We don't know
But
what
I
others are
feel
thinking.
like they would.
they're gonna like mutilate the fucking person they find and like put them in a comatose state. They still haven't killed them, so it's not against the rules.
Yeah, they could just like
But they can beat the fuck out of him. Yeah.
beat the fuck out of them, and
Or
capture them, and
or
keep them
maybe,
trapped.
or maybe they hire Kolos to do it.
Maybe
They don't have to kill them themselves. You're right. They could just,
or hire a human. Even they could just be like
Hire my
impersonate
cousins.
someone important and be like, "You need to go assassinate this person."
Yeah, indirectly kills them. Yep.
That's crazy.
Which I find funny because Tenzin, right? Is that what his fucking name
Tensoon.
was? Yeah, because I wanted to call him something else. But states that like when he helped Vin, he kind of broke his oath, even though he just helped them. He didn't actually kill anybody.
Yeah, he
helped
doesn't.
somebody,
He said it also resulted in the death of his master. I'm assuming going against your master's wishes at all is probably breaking the contract, but he doesn't really specify.
No, I meant before that. When they were fighting
the attack?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
he
before-
literally fucking bit into that fucking person's
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I'm pretty sure at that moment he was like, "Oh, I can fucking attack him, but I can't kill him."
Yeah, but even that though, like he hurt him, enough that she could then, kill him pretty much. Indirectly, he's killing them, and he even made a comment about that, like that it's okay because I didn't directly kill him myself, but it is still something that's like
Yeah.
he still felt bad about it, like he broke something.
I think it's because they generally keep from like even hurting humans, and so that was like getting a little close for comfort. But yeah, so where was I? So yeah, we talked for a while, so I lost where I was here. So Tensoon felt vibrations above and moved himself into a position to catch as much slop as possible, because he's assuming they are coming to feed him. However, instead of slop pouring down onto him, the grate above him is removed, and hooks come down to drag him up and out of the pit. Tensoon can taste dirt and old slop on the ground, but he can also smell acid. He thinks that it would be brought in a gold-lined bucket, and that they had come to kill him after all, regardless of the first contract. So what do you think about, obviously they're bringing acid to kill him, he thinks, and the fact, like, why do you think it's like a gold-lined bucket? Do you think that's like ceremonial? Do you think it's important in some way?
No, because I feel like, if I remember correctly, gold is like holds like certain acids better. Like it won't burn as easily.
That's what I was thinking. Like, imagine they bring a wooden fucking pail for acid. Like,
that's true. I didn't really think. I had in my mind. I was like, oh, I wonder if this is like important in some way that it's gold line. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably literally just because acid.
the only reason I know about this stuff is because I have measures to take just in case. Anyway.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to say that too long or too loud, Just saying.
No. I meant for like chemistry class.
Yeah, totally. That's totally what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a college student. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you an English major?
Yep.
I had to take a chemistry class actually for the general studies.
To be fair, I also had to take a science class as like part of my.
Science
degree.
isn't chemistry. Chemistry is a subsect of science.
That's what I meant. I had to take a science of. I had to choose between chemistry, psychology, physics, biology, astronomy. I took astronomy. Anyways,
Yep.
So yeah, they brought him in the bucket. However, he's also given a skull. Tensoon works quickly to begin forming flesh around it, along with lungs and a tongue. Acid begins to be poured on him, dissolving his body. He thinks that the first contract requires giving him a chance to talk before death, but obviously whomever was here to kill him had been told to kill him before he had a chance to form around the skull to speak.
Didn't care.
However, Tensoon thinks that he's spent the most time on contracts as the second generation, and most of the third generation had already retired to the homeland. Young Khandra took days to form a body, and older ones hours, but Tensoon was the fastest. So he's able to, he focuses on just like what you need to speak.
Yep, does it in seconds.
Yeah,
so what their homeland is.
Yeah, what is their homeland? Do we want to talk about that? Do you have any theories about what their homeland is?
Space. They just blast off into space.
They're just glorified slime, so
they go back in the caves.
Yep.
Oh no.
You know who else lives in a cave? Our gnome Midnight.
Oh my god.
Wow. I see how it is. Alright. Is that all you have to say about the
mushrooms
homeland?
coming? How are your mushrooms coming?
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I don't know. Why would they retire?
because they don't want to do work anymore.
But
Why
isn't
does
their
anybody
life
retire?
purpose just that?
No. What was their life purpose before when they were getting murdered left and right, and then they had to make the fucking contract or whatever?
What was their life purpose?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What was their life purpose before that? Because that's probably what their real life purpose is. They just want to be, actual human, like kind of human being like things. They want to be left alone. That's what they want.
Maybe they were the cleanup crew for the deepness.
Oh
The
god.
cleanup crew.
Oh no! I just realized that.
no.
What if they're just at the edges of the fucking where the mist is like, thickest, and they're just like, you know?
I just eat
Gosh.
all of what they give me. That's all
We
I
see,
can
we see
do.
like mounds of fucking like squishy flesh like coming back towards Lupa though.
Lovely. Alright, let's keep going.
Alright, let's keep going.
So Tensoon says judgment, and the acid being poured on him stops. A voice nearby says fool, but Tensoon repeats the word judgment. The voice tells him to accept death, as the first generation have granted him death due to the extra years of service. Tensoon knows a trial would be public.
Granted him death.
Yeah, they've been nice. They're allowing him death because of his extra years of service, because he hasn't retired yet. But yeah, Tensoon knows a trial would be public, and thus the rest of the Conjurer would know of his betrayal, and he would earn himself an eternity of pain in one of the pits. However, he thinks
Which
that if
is weird. Why would you want that?
However,
Just die, dude.
However, he thinks that if he speaks, it won't be to defend himself, but for other reasons. He again says judgment, although this time it's whispered. So what do you think his other reasons would be if he's not like going to defend himself? Like he has other reasons for not wanting to just die.
He's gonna talk good about Vin.
He's in love with Vin.
They're gonna have little conjure babies.
Ew.
Wait, that's a. Can they? Are they infertile?
We don't know. They mentioned that in order. Didn't they mention?
What
Did they
would
mention
it?
that you make other mist race? Conjure. They say that they're made from mist race. They don't really say if they can have children or
Okay.
not, though.
But if they can reconstruct the body, can they make a reproduction system and just like fuck with a human? And then like what would that like child look like?
That's what I'm saying. Like, could there be a half conjurer out there?
We don't know.
Midnight is literally living proof of that.
But
What, half conjurers? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
it's rude.
I bet you that comes in like the next fucking era.
So that's the end of chapter 2. That's our end of our little chapter with Tensoon. Chapter 3's epigraph. In some ways, having such power was too overwhelming, I think. This was a power that would take millennia to understand. Remaking the world would have been easy, had one been familiar with the power. Yet, I realized the danger inherent in my ignorance. Like a child suddenly given an awesome strength, I could have pushed too hard and left the world a broken toy I can never repair. So what do you think about how hard it is to understand how to use this power?
I think it makes sense if they had more time in order to use the power, it would work out. But it's like being told how to build a fucking like furniture set.
From IKEA?
I guess, and getting the instructions, but choosing like not being able to read it in the right language. You just gotta wing it. Hope it works.
This part looks like this part, so I'll just put them together.
And then what was supposed to be a couch turns out to be a Christmas tree.
What?
Anyway,
So we start with the
Like
point
you
of
know a
view
little too much about that, Brightness. Are you speaking from experience?
no.
Anyways, we start the point of view with the point of view of Elend, second emperor of the final empire. We get a brief recap that Elend had grown up as a noble and that he hadn't made a very good king, but that Tyndall had taught him a lot. We got a lot of little recaps in these chapters because obviously there was a few years probably between book releases, so there's recap, which is annoying when you read them all together, in my opinion. Ellen then flares Pewter, still amazed that he is an Allomancer, even though he is now used to the powers, as he and the group of soldiers charge at the surprised Koloss. He notes that they have trouble dealing with the unexpected, so Ellen is easily able to kill a small Koloss and yells at the soldiers to strike quickly before they frenzy. The soldiers charge in, and Ellen pulls on their emotions to make them more brave, thinking about how emotional allomancy came easier to him than leaping around with metal like Vin did. So what did you kind of think that was expected that Ellen was going to be better with like emotional allomancy than like physical allomancy?
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of
Opposites attract after all.
Do you think, Darkness? Did you kind of expect that, or do you think he was just gonna be good at everything?
Genuinely, I thought he was gonna be like Vin.
No one's like Vin. Vin is Vin.
Even Vin's not like Vin.
So as they fight, Ellen keeps an eye on Fatran as he notes that since the man is in charge, morale will fall if he dies. Ellen pushes coins at a large group of Koloss, knowing it won't kill them, but will injure and weaken them. Ellen then goes in for an attack, and the Koloss is able to swing its sword first. However, Ellen dodges and his enhanced dexterity from Pewter. The creature eyes Ellen for a moment before attacking again, and Ellen pulls on a nearby Koloss's sword so that he is yanked to the side and out of the way of the Koloss's attack. He also knocks over that one Koloss that he'd pulled on the sword on, allowing the soldiers around it to kill it. Ellen then chops off the larger Koloss's leg at the knee before beheading it. The Koloss begin to frenzy, and Ellen calls to the men to form up and keep fighting. He notes that they were able to kill a few hundred Koloss, but the harder part was coming now. Ellen soothes away the fear of the men and thinks about how you can't control human minds, but you can encourage or discourage them. Finn said that Ellen was stronger than the other Allomancers, and Ellen thinks it's likely because he got his powers from what he believes is the source of Allomancy. The soldiers fight hard against the Koloss, some of which charge towards the village, but things start to look worse and worse for them. Fatran cries out that they're doomed, but Ellen points at a speck in the sky and says one of the armies he promised had arrived. And so Mythic already said he realized that was going to be Vin right away.
Yeah. There's a speck in the sky. I wonder who that is.
Did you realize right away too, Darkness?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time they do it.
We switch to Vin's point of view as she lands in the middle of the Koloss army in a tempest of horseshoes. She uses these horseshoes to kill Koloss, pushing them into the Koloss and also using them to knock weapons from Koloss' hands while catching their wrists. She grabs the swords and then kicks off another Koloss when it attacks, causing it to kill one of its comrades. Vin then uses the Koloss sword to begin killing Koloss, and she notes that Koloss always seem baffled when smaller creatures such as Vin are able to kill them. What did you think about Vin's fighting style here? Her horseshoes?
I thought it was like she kept the horseshoes, type of shit.
Yeah, the horseshoes is her thing. I love it. I love her horseshoe thing.
I feel like if I were part of that shit, I feel like needles would be my thing, but
I don't know if needles are like gonna be good enough to like properly like wedge into the ground. You might need something bigger.
Well, I mean, with enough force.
I just feel like they're so small and thin you're just gonna crush them into nothing instead of like properly using them.
Yeah, so instead you use spiked pipes.
No, I meant like not like for the ground, but like for attacking.
Oh, you mean just for attacking? I thought you meant like just in general to replace her horseshoes.
I mean,
no.
I feel like you could just sharpen like down metal, like sheets of metal or whatever. Fucking throw daggers at people.
I feel like needles would be so much more satisfying.
You use spikes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You use like spikes, like the Inquisitors.
The spikes would be for the bigger guys,
No, you use spikes like the Inquisitors do.
Use barbed wire.
Use like a whip.
That would be so cool, man.
Metal whip. Damn.
So Vin screams as she pushes coins out at Koloss and then uses the Koloss swords to begin killing more of them, stabbing some, pushing a sword like an arrow, and slicing off body parts. Vin thinks that she has grown beyond fury and terror after intentionally killing Ellen and having him almost die in her arms.
Intentionally, by the way.
Yeah.
She intentionally killed her husband. Oh,
yeah, she thought it was the right thing to do. She thought she couldn't use the
power.
power.
No wonder you like this book so much.
Where was I?
No wonder they need couples counseling.
Yeah, I know, right?
Intentionally killing Ellen and having him almost die in her arms. She had once been terrified of losing him, but now she no longer wanted him to not risk his life. She fought with understanding. She was Ellen's knife, the final Empire's knife, and she fought to protect the way of life that Ellen had created. Vin notes that there are 10,000 Koloss in this army, but that she doesn't have to kill them all, only make them afraid. She can already feel the fear starting to build in the Koloss army as she sees a 13-foot tall Koloss bellow. So what did you think when she first said that she only needed to make them afraid?
So I was generally confused because I I thought she would just like take over them.
Yeah, apparently you can't just take them out
Yeah.
super
So
easily.
when when she said that the fear thing, I
Hmm.
was like, okay, do you need to like make them feel something, you know,
That you
other
can
than
play
just
off of. Yep.
rage? Yeah.
Yep.
Like you have to like
Yeah,
make them
it's
see
easy.
you
It's
as
easier
something
to
more
make them.
powerful.
Yeah, it's easier to make them fear you than it is to make them love you or whatever, you know. So make them afraid, and then you can play off of that. Press on that.
So Vin burns Duralum. Oh, sorry.
It's like opening a door. Is what I was gonna say.
I guess that would be the difference between them and the Conjurer. Besides the fact that you can't really, I don't. Can you? Can you? Yeah, you
What?
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I guess that would be the difference, considering that like you would need to make Kolas feel
I
specific
think
stuff.
it also does say, just so you don't get too lost in that I think it says at one point that it's partially also because they're already being controlled by something else.
Yeah.
Oh
Ruin.
right.
Yeah.
Ruin. Yeah.
Well, I think they're
Mm,
technically
The
controlled by the
They're being.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor.
Nope.
Yeah.
They're being controlled by Ruin. Who controls the Inquisitor?
Well,
So
they imply they say in the book that Vin believes that the Ruin is like directing the Inquisitors, but the Inquisitors are technically the ones that are directly like emotional elementsy controlling the Koloss, which is
yes,
why killing the Inquisitor
but
helps.
as we've been stated from Marsh, they don't have control of themselves. So
Yeah,
Ruin
but
is really
I
picking them
don't
up.
think it's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go into the Colossus mind and take control since I have the control of the Inquisitors too. I feel like it's just like, oh, I have control of the Inquisitors, they can control the Colossus for me.
Yeah, I think it's technically like the Ruin isn't directly controlling the Koloss; they're like indirectly controlling the Koloss through the Inquisitors.
That would give me
Okay.
hell of a headache, by the way, even as a god.
Mhm.
So Vin then burns Duralumum and pushes outward on all the Koloss around her, causing them to be yanked by their weapons. She drinks a vial of metals as a smaller Koloss comes at her, but she breaks its wrist and takes its weapon to kill a few more small Koloss. The large Koloss then charges at Vin, and Vin plants her sword into the ground to parry the creature, since she wouldn't be able to normally parry it, even with her enhanced strength. Vin then leaps up and kicks the Koloss in the side of the head while flaring pewter and kills it, landing on its chest. The Koloss around her freeze, and Vin notes that if the creatures weren't being controlled by an outside force, they likely would have respected her as their leader, even without her controlling them. The Koloss then charge her, even though afraid. Even why can't I speak? The Koloss charge her, even though they're afraid, as they never retreat. Vin, however, burns brass and pushes on the emotions of one of the smaller Koloss and takes control of its mind and makes it attack other Koloss. It kills two Koloss before dying, and Vin takes control of another and then another. She slowly grows her army of Koloss, getting two every time one dies, and continues killing the ones not under her control. What do you think of Vin like growing her Koloss army? I thought it was pretty cool.
I mean, Ellen does it too, so it's not that cool.
It's just cool in general, even if Ellen does it too.
Nah.
Man, fuck Ellen.
If Vin can't do something that Ellen can, or if Vin can't do something that Ellen can't. Oh my god.
I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
Vin has to be able to do things that Ellen can't do because Vin is supposedly stronger.
also, I did we ever get why she could pierce the copper cloud?
Nope.
No, we have not gotten that yet.
Yet. She said yet.
I told you we're going to get a lot of answers in these books.
She said yet.
Yeah, you're going to find out. I will confirm that for you.
And then
Told
when
you,
we don't
lots
get,
and lots of
and
answers
then
in
when we
this
don't,
book.
and then when we don't find out.
No, you will find out.
You said Hoyd was in the last book, and you lied.
You did, and you told us the 11th metal that they or thing that they called
Was
the 11th metal was
Electrum.
Electrum, and it wasn't. So you lie a lot.
No, I know for sure that it is in this book.
You know, in this book. Oh, okay.
Well, Electrum, yeah.
Well, yes,
Yeah, we know
but
Electrum's in
also
this book,
no, but
yeah.
also, you're gonna get like
A lot of answers.
you're gonna get pretty much all the answers except for certain
All?
things which are going to be important, such as like certain stuff about like if you have all the metals and certain stuff about the gods' powers because those are important to future eras. But like everything else, you should get answers to that are plot important.
So what you're saying
we get
is-
all of the metals in this book. We get.
No.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
So what
I'm
you're
not
saying
saying
is
that you're
that
getting for sure all medals. You may or may not be.
even if a god is defeated in this book, it doesn't guarantee the fact that we know all of its capabilities and that it won't survive for the next one.
Yes,
Yep.
I'm not gonna let you know that because
Ruin will be in every book.
So you're not gonna let us know that he will that they the evil
Ruin
gods
will
or
be
whoever
there.
god they defeat will be in the next book.
Uh-huh.
the
Because he will be
plot
a
will be
reoccurring villain.
completed,
Yep.
but Ruin may or may not return. I will not tell you, but the current
Okay,
plot
so
will
they
be
will
complete in
return,
Era 1.
which is fine with me.
Hmm?
Um,
I mean,
What?
yeah, she pretty much just confirmed it for us.
No, I
yeah,
didn't.
she really did.
Uh-huh,
I
yeah.
said so there's going to be an ending to this plot.
Of course there is.
Of
Because
course.
they're gonna think it's dead, but it's not, because
But
it's
it's
gonna
not,
return.
because it's going to return. Exactly. See, we're learning here, Darkness.
Why are we
We're
even reading
learning.
Oh
this,
my
you
I
know?
gosh.
know, right? We could be done right now with this whole book. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh. Where was I?
I mean, that could just answer all our questions for us, and then we
No.
wouldn't even have to read the book.
Finn then glances over at Ellen and sees that he has his own group of Koloss fighting with the humans. He himself is no longer fighting as he focuses on taking the
Anything
minds
you
of
can
Koloss
do,
instead.
I can do better.
She thinks that she isn't sure if she approves of him coming here on his own, but is glad she was able to catch up in time. Finn also stops fighting and focuses on controlling more Koloss until she has around 100 of them under her control. Then an Inquisitor shows up, bounding through the army by pushing on Koloss swords. The Inquisitor cuts down one of Vin's Koloss and then turns to look at her. Vin thinks back on some of the memories from the first 2 books and then burns Electrum. It causes
First 2 books? Like, she knows their books?
I'm just summarizing that because I didn't feel like summarizing the summary of the other 2 books when we've read them recently. She does not know their books.
Sounds like bad note taking to me, but you know, okay.
It might have been because, I don't know, do these notes seem like rushed to you?
Yeah, they're very rushed for sure.
She then burns Electrum! We get the word Electrum! Aren't you guys
Yay,
excited?
the word Electrum, the one thing we thought it was, it's not.
I was so over it at that point. I was like, oh, that's cool, Electrum. I knew about it like 3 books ago.
I know, right?
Maybe 3 books ago.
I knew about it so long ago. Like, god damn, catch up.
It causes images of what she can do in the future to come around her, and she notes that it can counteract if the Inquisitor is using atium against her. Ellen calls it poor man's atium. So what do you think about the abilities of Electrum?
I thought the Lord Ruler called it poor man's Electrum.
Nope, Ellen calls it poor man's atium.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so what do you think about the abilities of Electrum, where you can kind of see what your like options are in the future, and then like it also like completely nullifies if someone's using atium against you?
I want to know.
I mean, I told you there was going to be a thing that did that.
What's the like components of it?
Of Electrum, in like real life,
Gold and
I think it's like gold and silver.
Yeah,
no,
I
in
believe
this.
it.
They don't tell us yet, but it should be the same as in real life. It's just we don't know the exact percentages, but it's an alloy of
So
Yeah,
silver can be
It's
used.
alloy of
gold
gold and silver.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, I already have silver as my thing, so yeah. On my list of things.
Well, just because it's an alloy of 2 metals doesn't mean both.
It's
As far as we know, both metals
No,
don't
it's
have to
a
be, because pewter
Okay,
is
but
has
why
lead
wouldn't
in
you
it.
be able to use, even if it's like that, why wouldn't you be able to use silver to make a different alloy for a different metal?
I think silver slows down time, so it's okay.
You think silver slows down time? Interesting.
Yep. That's what I put on my list.
Silver? Don't you mean sliver? No, I'm just
Sliver?
Sliver
Yeah.
of
Wait, what did I?
infinity?
Electrum.
yeah, sliver of infinity.
Yeah, see, okay,
I can say
swapped
words.
it. Yeah, I swapped it. We haven't gotten the name of the thing that gave him Alamancy, right?
No, you do not know the name of what he.
I just want to make sure I didn't put, because I hadn't put it. I know I changed Electrum to be able to see the past sight of others, but or no, that's not the right. That was what
That's
I had.
That is not
Malatium.
Electrum.
That's the other way around. Yeah, okay. Wait, why do I not have Malatium on this now? Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Yep. Where was I? Electrum.
You know, hold on. You know, when they say malatium, I can't help but think of like the Spanish versions of the words, and I keep thinking it's like bad atium, like rotten atium.
I mean, apparently no one fucking knows any uses for Malatium. They're like, oh, this thing is shit. Even the Lord Ruler apparently was like, yeah, this metal's shit. What the fuck would you use it for? So maybe it is just bad. Bad atium. They fucked up. They're like, oh, it's technically an allomatic metal, but it's shit, so we're gonna call it bad atium, because it uses atium in it. Anyway, so Vin dashes at the Inquisitor, pushing a Koloss sword at it, but it pushes it away easily. She has deliberately forced the Inquisitor out by killing and controlling his Koloss. Vin then pulls out a glass dagger and burns Peter so that she is equal to the Inquisitor. Vin dodges the Inquisitor's axe and tries to cut its neck with her dagger. She also grabs onto its robe and pulls on Kola's swords to rip the back of the robe to reveal a shielded area on the Inquisitor's back where its back spike is. Vin curses and then jumps as Akolas tries to attack her. So what did you think about this shield that they put on over
That was
their
smart.
back spike? Yeah, they're like
Ninja Turtles.
Ruin's figured it. Ruin's like, fuck you and trying to pull the spikes out of my Inquisitors.
Yep. Here, I'll put a shield on them, motherfucker.
Do you think that was smart too, Mythic? Do you like their little shield?
Nope. I don't think it was smart at all. I
No?
think it was dumb.
Why do you think it's dumb?
No. I don't. I think. I thought when originally I was like, she's gonna look back there and it's not even gonna be there. It's gonna be in a completely different area.
To be fair, it kind of is dumb if they do it in front of like somebody who doesn't even know their weaknesses.
Maybe.
So Vin then jumps away from the battle and the Inquisitor follows her, cutting a gash into her arm with its axe as she lands on top of a hill. Suddenly, coins dig into the Inquisitor's back as Elend arrives to help. Kolas begin crowding around the hill that they stand on, trying to get up to them. Elend then pushes on a coin and the Inquisitor smiles as it expects to win. However, Elend's elementic strength was incredibly powerful and the Inquisitor was thrown backwards when they both push on the coin together. Vin then tries to attack the Inquisitor, but it throws her to the ground after catching her wrist. Elend tries to hit it with his dueling cane, but the Inquisitor shatters the wood and elbows Elend in the chest. Elend then grabs an axe and tries to attack the Inquisitor again, but it moves in a blur of motion, causing him to miss. The Inquisitor then comes at Elend with a metal spike, and Vin thinks it's moving too fast to even be using Duralumin. Being too far to help, Vin takes control of the nearest Kolos, coming up the hill, and has it strike the Inquisitor in the face before it can attack Elend with the metal spike. The Inquisitor's head is crushed completely, and it dies. Vin then cries out to Elend, and he takes control of the entire Kolos army by using Duralumin and Brass. So what do you think about the Inquisitor trying to attack Elend with a spike?
He's trying to create another Inquisitor out of Elend.
Maybe it's a way to like. So we know that it takes like powers or whatever. Maybe that's what he was trying to do,
And he's trying to take away Elend's powers?
or at least drain it.
Do you think that... Sorry.
Imagine he barely just got them and he's like, "Fuck no, I lost them."
Do you think that means that Ruin would be scared of Elend being a Mistborn then, or do you think it's just try and get rid of more people against him?
No, I think he's actually scared. Cause
I don't think he's scared of anybody. He's a god. Why would he be scared of anybody?
to be fair, he was trapped. He should be scared.
Only of preservation.
Sorry, I just thought of like, what if he was like actually a hero of ages, how Mythic says, and he's the hero of ages for preservation. That's why they were targeting him or whatever. But and then what if like that misform or whatever actually pointed north because that's where he wanted him to go, so he could fucking liberate preservation instead of actually going to help and liberate the other person. But anyway, where was I?
So you think maybe preservation is like up in the north in the Terrace Mountains?
Yeah, I think so.
Possibly.
Because why would he?
Preservation is the mist spirit that keeps following everybody, trying to get them to do shit, and then they're not listening to him.
Yeah, he's like, go up there. I'm over there, bro. Like,
Preservation's like, God damn you, stupid fucking humans! Just listen to me for once.
For once, this has been thousands of years. What the fuck?
God, you're all so fucking stupid.
Been trying to show people how to do shit forever, and nobody wants to listen to me.
he's like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna shank him.
It's like, God damn it. So chapter 4. The epigraph is, this is actually what happened to Rashek, I believe. Pushed too hard. He tried to burn away the mist by moving the planet closer to the sun, but he moved it too far, making the world far too hot for the people who inhabited it. The ash mounts were his solution to this.
As if I called this.
The ash mounts were his solution to this. He had learned that shoving a planet around required too much precision. So instead, he caused the mountains to erupt, spewing ash and smoke into the air. The thicker atmosphere made the world cooler and turned the sun red. So what are your thoughts on Rashek trying to get rid of the mist and causing these issues with the planet?
Trial and error.
I'm gonna let Mythic speak first, because, you know.
Trial and error. Pretty much all it is. Trial and error. Oh, okay. How to take away mist? All right. Well, if I know the sun can burn away the mist, so maybe if I move us closer to the sun, It'll burn it all away, and then I won't have to worry about it. Oh, wait, that's killing people. Okay, how do I fix that problem? And then over and over and over and over and over until he got to where he's at now. And the sun is hidden behind ash, and the plants are brown, not green, and just a bunch of shit. He's a fucking...
It's interesting how
Trial and
he
error.
can't modify the mist itself. So I'm assuming it's something of that like same level of power,
Mm.
which would be my theory of that mist is like a whole different entity itself. But ooh, anyway, uh, okay. What was the original question?
What are your thoughts on Rashek trying to get rid of the mists and causing these issues with the planet?
Oh, I'm so happy that they fucking explained the ash mounts.
Yeah. So apparently they were just normal mountains. He just made them into like basically like volcano type things, but they don't do lava. They just do the ash.
I thought it was like a ventilation system at some point, like a window for the planet's core.
If you want to know, the planet's called Scadrial. It's not really important in any way what the names are, but
Ska,
it's Scadrial.
Skadrio.
Right? Scadrial. Oh. The Ska will one day inhabit the entire planet.
Spelled with a C though, not
Pretty
a
sure-
K.
The
I'm
Ska
pretty
will
sure-
one day rule all.
I'm pretty sure the Ska will someday blast the fuck off the planet. So
We have the point of view of Sazed, who is the chief ambassador of the new empire, as he studies a sheet of paper.
We've been getting the point of view of Say's.
As he studies a sheet of paper with the core beliefs of the Kanzi people and their religion. He thinks that he had been studying this religion for about a day now, and that his focus on religions in the past had been meaningless. He decides that the Kanzi religion contradicts itself, as it says that the spirits create their own bodies, but also that evil spirits are given bodies that have mental or physical disabilities, and he's pretty disgusted by that, which, yeah, that's a pretty fucked up thing to say. And he writes that it is logically inconsistent and obviously untrue. What did you think about Sage like judging religions like this?
I like it.
I like that he's going against his core beliefs.
You like he's like, I will judge these religions. This is my duty now to judge you as true or untrue.
I mean, he's just getting one more step to godhood, you know.
To be fair, I see it more like he's opening his eyes to what logical explanations are, rather than displaying hope and belief for all of them. So
he's giving, like a more critical look at the religions instead of just being like, I believe all of these religions. They're all amazing and true.
I don't see it as like judging as in, oh, that's a fake ass fucking religion. I see it as like,
I mean, he calls it obviously untrue. I think he is kind of going, that's a fake ass fucking religion.
But I feel like it would be untrue for him.
I don't know. The fact that later he kind of basically says that he won't try to preach religion to them anymore because he doesn't believe in it. So
he's just got to find one that fits him. That's what he's there for.
Yeah, there's none that fits.
He makes his own. You know?
He is a god. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Breeson shows up and asks what Sazed is doing, which Sazed says is nothing of consequence, as he puts the sheet into a folder with over 100 others. He thinks that when Tyndall died, he decided he had to know if any of the over 300 religions he knew were true. Breeson asks
they weren't, so it's okay.
Breeson asks Sazed to use his Farrakemi to listen in on the people in the other room, which is apparently a dictator that they've come to threaten. They were apparently in Lekal City and were waiting on the king here to decide if he would sign their treaty or not. All they could do was wait currently, which is why Sazed had been reviewing religions. He notes that over the last year he has gone through about 2/3 of the ones he knew. He hopes that one of the religions could let him know what happened to Tyndall's soul without contradicting itself. So what do you think about Sazed going through all these religions and like his reasoning
going through a
behind
spiral? He's spiraling in depression.
Yo, he's
what if the copper mines are the key to resist ruin?
You think it's bad that he put them away, which we'll get to?
Yes.
I think he's gonna get them back out, and they're gonna work to help him resist ruin. His ruin's gonna get to him.
So Sazed thinks about how Lekal City had only been a manor house until 2 years ago, and now a town was building around it, although it was mostly just like a shanty town, more than like a proper town. However, it was in Ellen's defensive perimeter, so he had sent a contingent, including Sazed and Breeze, to get the new king's loyalty. Sazed notes that he doesn't like his title, as it implies he is a citizen of the new empire, where the Terrace people had sworn no man would govern them again. Although they weren't doing a very good job governing themselves, since the Inquisitors had killed all of their leaders. He also thinks that it technically wasn't a foreigner who had done all these bad things to the Terrace people anyway. It had been one of their own. What do you think about the Terrace people kind of trying to do their own thing, even though they're kind of not doing great because all their leaders are dead?
They'll be fine. They've survived worse.
Honestly, they've survived a lot in the last 1,000 years.
Not as much as the Lord Ruler did.
To be fair, I wonder what his mental like stability was like throughout those 1,000 years.
Who, the Lord Ruler?
Yeah.
I must fix this. I must fight the mist. I must kill the deepness.
I wonder if at some point he had like an emo phase. Oh my god, he has time. He had so much time to explore who he was.
So much.
The
I bet he explored all about himself for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sazin thinks briefly on Elend, noting that he respects him like few others, and that he finds that he is a stronger character than even Kelsier. Apparently, Elend hadn't tried to assume authority over the Terrace people who had come as refugees to the city, and so Sazed had happily served as Elend's ambassador. He also thinks for a moment that he should be leading his people, but then also thinks that he can't until he has faith again and finds truth in himself. So what do you think about Sazed potentially leading the Terrace people?
Good. Because
I mean, he's gonna lead the entire religion, so
he's gonna make them believe in him as a religion. He's gonna be a guy, you know?
I'm glad you're getting on the same boat with me there, Darkness.
Is he going to be a god king?
No, he's going to be a god emperor.
I see. Bree says that it's taking a long time, and that the king should know whether he is going to sign or not after how long they spent talking to him. Sazed then asks if they had done the right thing, but Breeze replies that if they hadn't come to bully King Leckle, someone else would have. Sazed notes that Breeze isn't convincing him that he isn't kind-hearted, and Breeze replies that it isn't.
Such a dumb fucking thing to say. If we don't bully you, somebody else will.
Yeah, so Sazed points out that Breeze isn't convincing him that he isn't kind-hearted, and Breeze replies that it isn't nice to point out one's dark secrets, and Sazed just like, being kind-hearted is a dark inner secret, what the fuck? Breeze is like, yes, I'm trying to be trying very hard to convince people that I'm not. What do you think about that? Not a kind
person? Yeah, okay, but...
What do you think about the fact that he's still trying to convince people he's not a good person?
He's not a good person.
He is a good person.
Really isn't. No, he's not.
Really isn't. He's manipulating people constantly. He's not a good person.
He also hid like a little fucking rat, so...
Wow.
Not a good person.
Breeze is a good person.
He's like, they can die. I won't, but they can die, you know? Like, the fuck?
Breeze then puts the conversation back to if what they are doing is right or wrong, and he says that the city will be under Elend's protection, and Elend is a better king than King Leckle anyways. Breeze also says that bullying is part of politics. He then gets a bit angry.
Again, another fucking thing. I don't know why.
He then gets a bit angry with Sazed, and Sazed apologizes as he says he feels contrary lately, because Sazed is like, because he's like, I can't fucking speak. Because he's like, they're all fucking things that you said already, Sazed.
I knew that you can't speak. It's okay.
No, I'm like struggling today. I apologize. Breeze then asks if it's kind of got calmer and asks if it still hurts and says it will stop eventually. Sazed wonders if the hurt will really go away and thinks that even his religions have failed him and he has nothing left without Tyndall and his religions.
It will never go away. You will always feel hurt. A loss like that.
All we need is like some eyeliner on fucking Sazed, bro.
Sazed is going through his emo face.
It gets better, but it will always hurt.
Yeah.
Okay,
what did you think about Breeze and Sazed's little conversation there about how kind of like Sazed is just like he's really not like participating much in anything. He's kind of just like struggling with everything in life.
I think it's awesome.
So Sazed needs to get over himself.
Oh yeah.
And Breeze needs to question why he's still alive when he shouldn't be.
Why shouldn't Breeze be alive?
Why should he?
Oh.
He should have been dead by like the first book or something.
Wow, fucking rude.
I don't know. I like Breeze. I don't like the fact.
Wait, out of curiosity, I don't wanna know specifically what he does, but does he does Breeze take any major part in this?
100%.
Wait, take part in like the previous book fight, or do you mean like is he gonna take part in the future?
In this general book, yeah.
I can't say anything.
You can just be like, yeah, he will.
I can't.
We don't have to know where.
I can't say anything.
I mean,
oh my god, that's so dumb.
Because Breeze is gonna be the hero of ages.
Yeah, Breeze is actually the hero of ages.
Yeah, exactly. See, we know that she likes to say these things, and then
Is he
they
gonna be the
become
fucking god of
true.
cowards?
You know? Yeah, he's a god of cowards for sure.
Actually, Set's the hero of ages.
No, Set's dead.
I feel like Seth's dead too. The fuck?
After all of these years, yeah, he's dead.
No, you know who's the hero of ages?
Who?
Seth's daughter.
Alrian?
Oh yeah, yeah, Alrian. Yep.
Alrian.
She's gonna be the goddess of beauty.
Oh my gosh.
She is beautiful, so
I mean, if she gets preservation's powers, she'll preserve her beauty, I guess.
That's not how it works.
wait, how? Yeah, right. How? What?
I don't know.
Huh?
I wouldn't know.
I don't
As
know.
the former
I'm
god,
trying
I
to
can
make a joke.
Are we dropping something here?
No, I was trying to make a joke because you were saying
Dropping
she was
hints?
No, I was trying to make a joke. 'Cause
I think you're dropping
preservation.
hints.
No.
Not as a former god, I can confirm that's not how it works.
Anyways, Breezen tries to
As
cheer Sayst
as a
up.
former god?
Yeah, I
What
downgraded
did
to
you
become noble.
Oh, okay.
Only temporarily though.
Only temporarily. All right.
Breezen tries to cheer Sayst up by asking for him to try to convert him to a religion, but Sayst says he stopped wearing his copper mines a year ago. He thinks that he feels like he's betraying the Keepers, but his copper mines just don't feel like they matter anymore. So what did you feel about Sayst like leaving behind his copper mines?
It's so fucking dumb. Oh.
It's just
Whatever,
copper.
bro.
It's just copper mines.
He also thinks that he may be the last ferrochemist alive since the Lord Ruler tried so hard to breed the ability out of Terracemen. No Keepers have shown up in Luthadel, and he is obviously not able to have children, so he might be the last ferrochemist ever.
Oh my god, if he becomes a god, he can... No.
He can grow his penis back.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I figured that's exactly what you were gonna say. That's why I said it.
So do you think Sayst is the last ferrochemist alive?
No.
No. That would be such an ignorant thing to think, bro.
Do you think ferrochemy is going to be gone by Era 2?
No.
I think all three of them are gone by Era 2.
Hmm.
I think there's a new thing in Era 2.
Interesting. So Breezen tries to push about a religion again, but Sayst says that if there was a god, would he have let the Lord Ruler kill so many people? Would he have let the world
Oh
be
my
as it is
god.
now?
This fucking argument of gods. Oh my god.
Sayst says he
so
won't.
original.
Sayst says he won't teach a religion until he can find one that answers his questions. He touches his stomach slightly and thinks about how Marsh had gotten his rings embedded in Sayst's flesh, but Sayst had them removed sometime later by a surgeon. Breezen says that Sayst was the best of them and that Sayst is no good as an atheist and he'll come around eventually. Do you agree that Sayst is no good as an atheist?
I agree.
He's the perfect atheist. As you can tell, if there were a god, he wouldn't let all these people die.
Breezen says he never did thank Sayst for helping him a year ago, and that without him he wouldn't have come back to himself. Sayst thinks bitterly that Breeze still has the woman he loves alive, and Sayst would have recovered if he were in the same position. So we know that Alrian is still alive at this point. She's not died.
Unless he moved on.
I'm pretty sure they're implying that Alrian's
No.
Alrian.
No.
Alrian.
He has another girl now. Someone younger.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Please no!
Somebody even younger.
No.
He's getting his little taste like strap.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, a solitary
That's why,
aide.
that's why Breeze is her favorite.
No.
Ah!
You. A solitary aide then enters the room with the signed treaty. Then we get to chapter 5. The epigraph is, each time Rashek tried to fix things, he made them worse. He had to change the world's plants to make them able to survive in the new harsh environment. Yet that change left the plants less nutritious to mankind. Indeed, the falling ash would make men sick, causing them to cough like those who spent too long mining beneath the earth. And so Rashek changed mankind as well, altering them so they could survive.
Yep.
So I know Mythic had many. I think in the first book you had a lot of questions about like how the fuck do they like breathe in all this fucking ash without dying? Because he changed their bodies.
And then on the second book, I made the next connection of like, oh well, maybe the Lord Ruler used powers, like godly powers, to fucking change all this shit. So I mean, it would make sense that. Oh wow, my people are dying to this. I should change them, their biology.
So yeah, so we got that confirmation about why the plants are the way they are, why humans can breathe in ash. So what did you think?
Why didn't he just make a giant greenhouse?
Why didn't he just make them like able to withstand the sun being that close?
I think they were saying that like, basically based on how it's worded, the timeline is he moved sun, then he panicked, and he's like, okay, I make the ash mounts. Panic. I'm gonna change the plants and the people because fuck. So it sounds like he's like doing things in order kind of, and so he didn't think of that. Obviously, he
Yeah,
did
that's
the
what I'm saying.
astronauts
But like,
first.
it would
Wait, so
have made more sense just to change the.
you're telling me you can't just like reverse it?
Don't
Like,
know.
oh shit, I moved this too much. Let me bring it back.
You will learn more and more epigraphs. The epigraphs are very descriptive.
Yeah, as we can tell with the paragraph epigraphs.
These isn't even the longest ones. Like I did with the first book. Like I did with the last book. I did all the epigraphs first. When like a week or two ago, and there are some that are like 3 or 4 paragraphs long.
Ooh,
There's some long ass epigraphs.
I'm so glad Quan is dead.
I know, right? At least we get information in these.
I mean, in all honesty, I thought chapter 6 was just a giant epigraph. Like it was that short.
Anyway, so did you have any other thoughts about how Rashek changed people and the plants, or should I move on?
I'm sure there's more. So he changed a lot.
So we start with Ellen's point of view as he looks down at the dead Inquisitor. Finn says that the Inquisitor moved too quickly, even if using Duralumin. It's noted that they no longer have the advantage of Duralumin but they at least have the advantage of Electrum in case the Inquisitors have Atium, as it makes them immune to Atium, which they did mention earlier as well. Ellen thinks that Ben is often paranoid, but still usually right. Ben then begins ripping open the robe of the Inquisitor, which Ellen's like, you should respect the dead, and she's like, I'm not gonna respect these fucking things. And then it's briefly mentioned how it tried to attack Ellen with a spike again, and then it reveals that the Inquisitor has an extra spike pounded through the center of its chest.
In its heart.
Yeah, right through where its heart should be, and they're like, and at first they're like, Ellen's like, how the fuck? And he's
This
like,
is
well,
the one we listened to in the beginning when we were listening to the whatever the pre-shit was.
yeah, the prologue.
So yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the one that they created. But yeah, so in total, this Inquisitor, and so you get your spike medals now, Mythic, which I know you were waiting for last book. He has both the eye spikes. Both the eye spikes are steel, because you had won that question before. And then there are 2 steel spikes through the chest, and then below that there's 4 bronze spikes through the chest. And then there's this extra spike, which is made of pewter, which, as they said, was straight through the center.
But we still don't know what the powers are yet.
Vin says that the spike that the Inquisitor tried to... Well, you can kind of infer what the 2 in the eyes do, considering how they see.
So does the heart one? I guess the heart one would be like pewter, where it gives them stronger or whatever. I don't know. Makes them more resilient.
Well, it can't be exactly a 1-to-1 because there's 4 steel and 4... What was it, bronze?
Yeah. So. I think it's the location specifically.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So I had previously said they're like based on like major organs, right?
Yeah, you did. But
and I feel like if you put that shit in the heart, especially if it's a metal one, you're gonna get that in your bloodstream regardless. If it spreads out like that through your blood, you know it's gonna be like pretty cool if it means that they get even more powerful stuff there.
We also know that potentially this new spike relates to the Inquisitor speed, because they were like,
that's
why
what
is he
I
so fucking
assumed
fast?
when they said about Peter.
You know, when you
Also, it's kind of cool if you think about it. If so, like my thing is that it has everything to do with the blood flow, and it'd be cool because the pewter could just spread throughout like all of your veins across your whole body, you know. So it makes sense that it would augment it even more. I wonder if they're gonna do the like the mind metals where the eyes are, or like on their head.
kind of like the fucking pinhead.
Yeah, just imagine that. They're like, imagine like they do that, and it's like instantly getting control of the Colossus.
Sorry, I was trying to see if there was a specific thing at the back of this book, but I don't think there is. I think you have to wait till Era 2 for this thing I wanted to look up.
I fucking knew it. Leave the podcast right now.
Anyways.
I thought we would get all the answers midnight.
Right? Yeah.
You do. What? It's just this one helpful chart, but the chart has Era 2 spoilers.
So we don't get all the answers. You lied again.
I told you, you get all the answers to everything except specifically like potentially power and god stuff, because that's going to be stuff that's going to be important.
So hemalurgy is god stuff. Got it.
I said powers and god stuff. Powers, I'm including like magic stuff, like Best
Wait,
true.
this is magic?
There's
I don't know this is
magic?
magic. Yeah, when was this ever
Everyone just calls
referred to as magic?
Well, no, it's not referred to as magic in book. I'm just talking about like their powers, like allomancy, feruchemy,
I
hemalurgy.
thought it was more of a mutation type of shit, to be honest, but
It's a fantasy book. I don't know. I call them magic systems.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was mutation, powers, but okay.
I just call them magic systems.
Hmm.
Whatever. It's just a title. It's not like I don't know how to describe things. Anyways, so Vin then mentions that they are like children playing a game, and they are watching their parents game. Children watching their parents play a game, and now they are playing it, going against the person who created the game. Ellen says they aren't sure that what was freed at the well is out there still, but Vin insists that it is, and that it is directing the Inquisitors and knows their plans, since like all the Koloss keep attacking the same cities as them and everything. Ellen says that they at least won this fight, but they know they have lost too many humans. Ellen also thinks about how the outer dominances are now wastelands, and only the places closest to Luthadel still have enough daylight to grow food. So what do you think about the fact that there's the whole outer ring of the Empire is just like completely wasteland, like mist 24/7?
Sounds a lot like
Christmas.
That's totally what I was gonna say.
Any other thoughts? Besides that, it sounds like Christmas.
Sounds like Christmas. That's it.
Okay.
It's just Santa Claus coming in.
Starkness said it. It sounds like Christmas.
I don't even know, bro. What should we expect? I'm so tired of trying to guess what the fuck the mist is and what it's doing, so I'm over it.
The mist is coming.
The mist has been coming for 3 fucking books.
I know.
I mean, the mist wasn't coming in the first book.
Yes, it was. Yep, totally was. We just didn't know it.
There was like fucking 85% talk about the mist and how it's fucking scary.
Yeah,
well, yeah, it's scary, but not that it's like coming and killing people.
I didn't say anything about it killing people. I just said it's coming. C-U-M, by the way.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Uh,
Ellen thinks that Vin needs his hope, and he tells her that he's sure they'll find a way to beat it. He also thinks that he's still part of the Church of the Survivor, and the only commandment is to survive. They hug, and Vin asks for one of the Koloss, which he lets go of. Which he
English.
I can't English today. I'm
Do
so
you
sorry.
speak them?
I'm so fucking struggling today.
You know,
I really apologize.
That's not good for our podcast, right?
I know. I feel really bad. I feel like this.
We have to be able
episode
to talk.
I know. So he lets control of one of them so that she can take control of it. Vin's Koloss picks up the Inquisitor and the Spike. They then walk over to the group of human soldiers who had set up a triage unit that Ellen is not very confident in. Before that, I had a question, which is, are you surprised that Ellen is still considering himself a member of the Church of the Survivor?
No. I figured as soon as he fucking said he would honor that shit.
He's an honorable man. What? Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all. He's an honorable man.
So Fatran then asks Ellen why the Koloss stopped, and Ellen says this is the second army he promised. He says they needed to force the Inquisitor out, and that the Koloss became scared when something small defeats something large. Fatran assumes the Koloss will switch sides on their own because of this, and Ellen doesn't really clarify more on that.
Yeah, I like that part.
He's like, yeah, sure, dude. That's all you need to know.
Totally lied to you, but it's okay.
I mean, he didn't really lie. He just didn't clarify.
He just didn't
more.
tell the truth. He just didn't tell the truth. Yeah, it makes sense.
Ellen then tells Fatran that the Koloss are working with them and to make sure the soldiers don't attack them. Which I wonder if they would break out of their control if someone attacked them, just because of their nature. Interesting. It's like, please don't attack them. They then go back to the city, and Fatran chooses to come with them and see what they want from it, because they're like, we're gonna go get something from your city. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna come with you. Ellen tells Fatran that he must call Ellen my lord, and Fatran eventually does. Vin and Ellen then discuss Ellen coming here ahead of her, and how Ellen had to take advantage of the Koloss being tired after marching all day. He thinks about how Vin no longer tries to protect him from all danger, and he appreciates her willingness to let him take risks and her love for him. Apparently they try to stay together as much as possible, but sometimes Ellen needs to go help a city being marched on by Koloss while Vin is off giving orders to Penrod and Luthadel. So what do you think about the fact that they're still trying to stick together through all this, but obviously they have a lot of duties, this Emperor and Empress. Also, Penrod's still in control of Luthadel.
Man, fuck Penrod.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like there's a little bigger of an issue than Penrod being a fucking ruler of fucking a city. Like, damn, they got gods trying to kill each other, you know?
So once they get into the town, Vin's Kolos puts down the Inquisitor body and then follows Vin and Ellen towards the Ministry building. Ellen thinks that Vin believes that people need to get used to seeing Kolos so they aren't afraid of them. Do you agree that people need to get more used to being around Kolos? So they
No,
can fight them? No?
no, fuck that shit. Kolos aren't our
Honestly.
friends. They're fucking mindless slaves.
You agree,
They're
Darkness?
just objects.
Yeah, imagine like they're all friendly and shit, like having drinks with the fucking Kolos. An Inquisitor pops by. He's like, "Hey guys!" Fucking slaughters them all using the Kolos. Like, no.
So the Kolos yanks open the door of the Ministry building, and Ellen notes that it looks like the town ransacked the building more than kind of Fatrin lit on. Because Fatrin's like, "Oh yeah, we went through it." And he's like, "It fucking ransacked to hell."
Yeah, well, I mean, what they were looking for didn't matter. But they
Yeah.
were ransacking it, so.
Ellen tells Fatrin that the Obligators had many projects going on in secret, and then Vin finds a trap door. So they go down into a cellar, and Vin finds a mechanism that allows them to use iron to pull on some metal and open a secret door. After much
Like
effort,
another place we went to.
After much effort, the door opens fully, and they go into an enormous cavern. So what were you expecting before you found out kind of what was down here? Like when she like found the trap door and like this like cellar with this special
Another pool.
elements.
ATM.
I expected another pool.
You thought they'd find the pool, the other pool or another
Yeah,
pool?
and then I felt like they would reveal like, "Oh, we've been finding pools left and right."
There's actually like 20 gods.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, right? Hoyt is one of them, so.
He's not a god. He's a simple traveler.
Yeah, he's just a traveler.
Yeah. Okay. Simple.
It is
He's-
simple if he derives from
He's
like
a storyteller. He's a beggar. Just travels around doing shit.
Too many things.
Yeah, bro, think about his resume.
How old do you think Hoyt is?
He's like 800.
Older than time.
No, he's got to be more than like the Lord
Gotta be-
Ruler itself.
Yeah, older than time.
So they find food on thousands of shelves along with basic supplies down in the cavern. Ellen tells Fatrin to get men to guard the entrance so people don't come and steal all the food and supplies. Fatrin gets pretty angry. He calls him, says they're no better than bandits. And Ellen's like, "No, I'm a tyrant. It's different." Which Fatrin's like, "It's
I'm a
just."
tyrant.
He's like, "No, you're a bandit." And Ellen's like, just kind of thinks like, I'm not gonna deal with this. There's a difference, but I'm not dealing with it. And so Ellen replies that without him, people would come to try and rob them, or refugees would come and overwhelm them looking for food. He says in return for everything in this cavern, he will provide protection and steady food supplies. Fatrin then agrees to get the men to guard the entrance, and Ellen asks for people who can write to catalog everything here as well. What do you think about Fatrin and Ellen's little fight?
Kind of laid down the law there, so. It was like, nah, I'm a tyrant. At least you know. At least you know what shoes you put on your feet.
Yeah, he knows. So Fatrin. Oh, I said that. Once he leaves, Vin says that Ellen didn't used to be able to command men like that. Ellen notes that he still feels a bit of a failure because he has to force people to comply with his laws. But Vin says they can't afford to not force people at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. I feel like that's what every dictator says. I'll change it later when
To be fair,
when we're not.
It seems like the world's ending at the moment. It is a little different than real life.
Nope. World's always ending for somebody.
So we switch to Vin's point
Especially
of
the
view.
people you kill,
We switch to Vin's point of view as she contemplates how Ellen used to be a dreamer and idealist, but now he is a harder man, but he can move forward with his regrets and continue instead of being bogged down by them. Ellen states that this place is amazing and that the Lord Ruler somehow knew there would be a day when the mists would return and food would be scarce. Ellen talks about how amazing the scope of it all is, although Vin's like, yeah, whatever, dude. And that the Lord Ruler must have thought the deepness could be beaten if he planned for people to survive in this for a while. Vin replies that she knows Ellen is trying to be hopeful, but things aren't looking good. The ash is falling more, and even if the mists don't kill the crops, the amount of ash will. Ellen says they are trying to survive, and Ben shouts that Kelsier is dead. She says it's ironic that they call him the survivor when he is the one who didn't survive. He committed suicide. Ben then feels bad for shouting when she had just been admiring Ellen's hope. Ellen says that he doesn't have answers for her, and Vin apologizes. Ellen says he really does think they can survive, though, and Vin finds herself believing him. So what did you think the Lord Ruler's plans were with all these? We find out there's like potentially up to 5 of these caverns. What do you think? Did you think that like he made them for if the deepness came again, he thought he could survive it and like beat it again?
Yeah, probably.
Darkness.
Yeah, I think so. But are they using the food like right now?
It doesn't sound like they're using at least not all of it because he specifically says he's gonna have guards like protecting it from people taking it.
Okay, because if they're using it up, like,
Well, he says there's still places in the Empire that they can grow food at the moment, like around Luthadel.
yeah, but they don't know how bad or how long it's gonna be if the fucking mist ends up like covering everything. So
Yeah, I'm assuming they're saving as much as they can. That's why they want it guarded, so that like over winter and like if like more and more of like their land gets taken over and can't grow crops, like they'll have at least a bit of food.
poor Lord Ruler.
I know he was such a good guy. I don't understand why they had to kill him.
They're
I
just
mean,
taking all his snacks.
it goes back to the whole thing I said before about everybody thinks they're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. So Vin then goes over to a large metal plate on the wall and reads out the inscription. The plate tells about the 11th metal, and it seems like the Lord Ruler didn't know anything about its purpose, just like Kelsier hadn't. The Lord Ruler also insists on keeping people out of the mists and talks about how several people using emotional elements he can take over Kolos or Khandra. In other caches,
Which makes sense. The mist thing makes sense because everybody was like scared of the mist, so maybe he implanted that thought out there so that they wouldn't go into the mist.
Mm-hmm. In other caches, the inscriptions had talked about aluminum and electrum. Ellen says he hadn't thought of trying several soothers working on one Kolos to take control of it, that it was good information at least. So what do you think about how these catches apparently like told about different metals, and it also says that this is the last metal he's going to tell them about, which I think he never told them about duralumin, unless that was in the very first one.
I thought that was
Last?
in that
Oh, it
note
might have
just
been.
now.
Sorry. No, this one. This is malatium. He's telling them
I thought
about.
he had. I thought they were both in there.
I'm pretty sure it's just malatium he tells them about in this one.
Okay. Maybe they just made a comment about duralumin. I remember them making a comment about
They
it.
make a
So.
They
comment about how
did.
they already knew about how to make this metal.
They did make a comment about Duralumin, but I think it was like past.
Because the direct inscription says, "This is the last metal I will tell you about. I have trouble deciding the purpose of it. It allows you to see the past in a way, what a person could have been and who they might have become, had they made different choices, much like gold, but for others. But now the mists have likely come again. Such a foul, hateful thing. Scorn it. Don't go out in it. It seeks to destroy us all. If there is trouble, know that you can control the Kolos and the Khandra by use of several people pushing on their motions at once. I built this weakness into them. Keep the secret wisely." And then it has the listed in
Who was he
Allomantic.
writing to, though?
Beneath that was listed an allomantic component of metals, one with which Finn was already familiar. It was the alloy of atium they called malatium, Calthier's 11th metal. And then in like a paragraph or so down it says, in Urtiu, she learned about electrum. In the one to the east, they found a description of aluminum, though they'd already known about that metal.
Oh yeah, maybe it was aluminum, not duralumin. Yeah.
Yeah. So they told him about at least 3 metals. I can't remember I don't remember if it told them about duralumin and like the one under Luthadel or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your kind of comment though made me think of something though, Mythic. Who do you think he was writing to? Was he writing to like, did he expect to die? Do you think, or was he writing it just in case he died? Or like, who do you think he was writing these
The true
metal
hero of
inscriptions to?
ages.
Hmm.
He was probably waiting for the hero of ages to resurface so he could teach them the correct way, but he was doing it wrong. So, like, he probably knows something we don't about like the hero of ages and what actually is a hero of ages. What to look for.
Well, he would probably know the original prophecy, considering he was alive at the time when it was properly practiced.
He also took the powers from the well, so he knows he has knowledge beyond knowledge. So
that's true.
But that's what made me think maybe he knows that like there's somebody's coming that will be able to fight fight Ruin at some point, and he knows it's not him, and then so he's like stalking up and waiting for that day for that person to come.
What do you think, Darkness?
Loki, at first I thought he was like recording it for his children. By children, I mean like the first Lamancers.
Mm. You think he was just like keeping it there for like the noble lines?
And more of the fact that like I feel like in the beginning he wouldn't not just like give them that information.
Mm.
So I would assume he'd feel like recording it wouldn't be that bad.
Okay, so you think like originally they knew about all the metals and then like he kind of like quelled any knowledge of certain ones because he didn't like people using them for whatever reason, or just like maybe things like malATM people stopped knowing about because first of all it's probably expensive to make because it has ATM in it, and second of all like it's not,
Yeah.
as far as they can tell, not very useful
I mean, that would explain where all the ATM went, though.
into
Maybe
making
he's making.
malATM.
Yeah, maybe he made a bunch of malATM. That's why he was so much more powerful than But that's just a theory, a Mistborn theory.
Okay, where was I? Oh, also, did you like Elend? Were you impressed by the thought of like multiple soothers working on one Khandra to then make
Yes,
it
I thought that was pretty cool.
take
That was
control
a
of it?
pretty cool thing. Yeah, and I
Also,
feel like that sets Breeze up for a lot of really cool shit later. So.
yeah,
Because he has already stated that he has like a
he's
lot
got
of
he's got his like whole group of soothers and riders.
No.
Yep.
Breeze is gonna die.
Breeze survives. I swear to God. Keep
No,
thinking
no, no,
everybody's
no,
gonna
no.
die, man.
In order for him to die, I mean, in order for him to survive, he needs to become a god, and that's not happening anytime soon. It's just like fucking Vayne gets a whole council of people that are gods.
But yeah, she's not one.
Oh no!
All her friends are gods,
Imagine,
and then she's not one.
imagine one of them becomes gods and they have to watch the other grow old.
Mm. So Vin then points out a map drawn on the metal plate, which potentially has the location of the final cavern, as they expected there to be 5 of them, and there's also like a little small numbering on them, which has like, they say like, it's been like 1, 2, 3, and this one has 4 on it, and then they also have like a 5 underneath that number. But yeah, so there have been 5 of them, Luthadel, and then 1 in each directional dominance, pretty much, is where they've seen them. This one shows like the last direction, which I think is to the west. I don't know, I keep losing my place here.
Because you're tired.
Yeah, probably. Ellen then notes that the city on the map is likely to be Fadric City, which is Set's home. Which I just want to note here, Set's gonna be super fucking pissed if it does have the ATM. When he came all the way to Luthadel for ATM. Imagine you're like, I've come for ATM. And they're like, yeah, no, the ATM's at back where you started.
It's been with you the whole time.
It's the friends we made along the way.
Oh god.
So they suspect that the final cache will have the ATM, as each cache was bigger and had a specialty such as weapons or lumber. Ellen says they don't know for sure that the ATM is there, but Vin insists that it must be. Ellen also says he isn't sure what use money will do them now, but Vin thinks they might be able to use it as a weapon.
I was gonna say it's not. We're not using this as money, all right, Ellen?
Yeah, but Ellen
We're
doesn't
surviving.
see. They kind of go through a whole thing where like Ellen's like, I don't really see a point in this, and Vin's like, no, it's important, but she can't really explain how they would use it as a weapon against the Mists. So he's like, what? We're gonna have like a weapon against the Mists, and she's like, I don't know. But yeah, she says Vin says maybe they'll find the answers to all their questions in Fadrex, and Ellen says that he doesn't think the ATM is that important, but Vin feels it is. Oh, I think I read that. But yeah, Ellen says that even without the ATM being there, it'll likely still be worth it to go there for what they'll find in the cache, hopefully. And they also mention that currently in charge of Fadric City is an obligator, which had been mentioned in the second book. An obligator had kind of been taking over Set City, and he's like, I should have left Alrian with the obligator, he says at one point. Do you remember that?
Nope.
Yes.
Don't remember that at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
They then hear voices, and Vin asks if he's told the people here that they'll have to move to Luthadel, since there's so little daylight left in this area that they won't be able to grow crops. As Ellen says he hasn't told them yet. As Ellen walks away to talk to the men, Vin finds herself thinking angrily about the Lord Ruler and wonders what use his catches are when they have a whole empire to take care of. She's like, as she's thinking about this, she's touching the metal slab, and she notices a small inscription at the bottom of the metal slab that states that it can hear what you say and that only your thoughts are safe. Vin thinks that she needs to find a way to defeat what she released, and that she can't even speak of her plans to anyone, or that it will also know of them. What do you think about the Lord Ruler's little message at the bottom there. Do you think the it is ruin?
Only words in metal can be trusted, you know?
Yep, only words written in metal can be trusted. And apparently thoughts can be trusted, if you believe this.
I mean,
We need a telepathy one. Wait, will we ever find out if there's mistings for a specific, like, outside of the 8?
You will find out if that is possible or not.
Okay.
I will not say whether it's possible or not, but you will find out whether it is possible or not.
Thank you for confirming if it's possible. Not
So then we have chapter 6, which, yeah, the epigraph is like almost like half of this fucking chapter, which the epigraph is, Rashek soon found a balance in the changes he made to the world, which was fortunate, for his power burned away quite quickly. Though the power he held seemed immense to him, it was truly only a fraction of something much greater. Of course, he did end up naming himself the Sliver of Infinity in his religion. Perhaps he understood more than I give him credit for. Either way, we had him to thank for a world without flowers, where plants grew brown rather than green, and where people could survive an environment where ash fell from the sky on a regular basis. So what do you think about the fact that Rashek did so much when he only held a sliver of the power? And what do you think that means, like, the whole power could do?
could make you a god.
I think you're actually on point with that.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting a sliver of God's power. If you had the whole thing, why wouldn't you?
Become it, yeah.
Yeah. Just like I think ATM is like a sliver of ruin.
I thought that, you know, the little fucking orb thing that
The
Ellen
metal bead?
swallowed?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that comes from Ruin, right?
You think it comes from ruin? I think it comes from preservation.
I think it comes from Ruin.
Yeah.
I think what gives Pharaoh Kami is what comes from preservation.
Possibly.
So we then have Marsh's point of view, as lucidity comes upon him as it often does when Ruin isn't watching him closely, although Ruin still has control of his body. At best, he's been able to quiver a finger or halt a step for a moment. However, he knows he will never gain enough control of himself to kill himself. So what do you think about Marsh, like, basically being stuck, just like watching himself do things whenever Ruin isn't like directly kind of controlling
That's what I was telling. I mean, that's what I was saying about the fact that I don't think the Inquisitors are there themselves. Like, I feel like he's just controlling them through the Inquisitors, or the Colossus through the Inquisitors. So.
Yeah. What do you think, Darkness? About Marsh?
About Marsh in general?
About Marsh, like,
we all know Marsh is his favorite character. So.
How Marsh is, like, stuck kind of, like, just watching himself do things as Ruin kind of, like, controls his body.
I think he should seek professional help. I think he's hearing voices, and he can't control his urges, so...
Yeah, schizophrenic, yeah.
This is just... Bro, I swear to God. At the end, it's like... At the end of all these eras, it's like... You wake up at a hospital, like...
Oh my gosh. So
I would cry.
Marsh finds himself almost wishing that Ruin would never let go of his mind so that he wouldn't have to notice how depressing the world was. He thinks that he needs to go mad so he doesn't have to deal with this. There are other Inquisitors here, but none of them speak to each other since they are all controlled by Ruin, so there wouldn't really be any point. Marsh thinks that they all, along with himself, have new spikes that they gained by killing Terracemen. He also mentions that he did most of the spiking to the other Inquisitors. Apparently the Lord Ruler had held back some powers from the Inquisitors to make certain they were dependent on him. Marsh then looks at the sky and thinks that it's a beautiful world. So did you kind of notice how, like, he has, like, this switch over in this, like, chapter from, like, he's himself, and then he slowly switches over to, like, Ruin's version of himself?
Yeah,
Two souls, one body.
Can you read the last section?
Of my notes, or do you want me to read directly from the book?
I
want you to read the whole book for us right now.
Just how you summarized it.
So my last paragraph that I wrote here was, there are other Inquisitors here, but none of them speak to each other since they are all controlled by Ruin, so there would be no point. Marsh thinks that they all, along with himself, have new spikes that they gained by killing Terracemen, which Marsh notes that he did most of the spiking to the other Inquisitors himself. Apparently the Lord Ruler had held back some powers from the Inquisitors to make certain they were dependent on him. Marsh then looks up at the sky and thinks that it's a beautiful world.
It's a beautiful world.
So they didn't originally use Terracemen for that?
So they mention, I believe, in this, was it in the prologue or in the second book? I think it's partially in the prologue, that they spiked
A Terraceman.
Well, they were spiking mistings normally.
Yeah. Before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like,
Make Inquisitors.
Which makes sense.
I meant
Which
like,
makes sense. I have an idea on that. So
I meant like how the one of them was on top of the other,
Yeah.
and how they have new spikes because of that. I'm assuming they like that's the thing that the fucking
Yeah, so
Lord Ruler
Marsh
didn't do.
implies here that all their new spikes are from Terracemen. So these new spikes with these potentially new abilities, like we learned from that one guy going faster, are from Terracemen.
that's why the speed thing. It's one of the speed powers. Wait. Oh. Okay. I got it.
Oh.
Okay. That's steel though as a thing. What was the one that's in the heart? What's the
Pewter.
metal that's in the heart? Pewter.
Pewter is the one that's going straight through the heart, and that's the new spike.
Gives him strength.
So we know that original Inquisitors had 4 steel spikes and 4 bronze spikes. We do not know what the spike through their back is. They don't mention that when they're examining the Inquisitor corpse. But it seems like, as far as we know, they only had 2 different types of metals in them, but in different places.
Oh, that sucks.
You writing things down on your mythic, or you want to speak more? Or?
Oh no, sorry. Did you ask a question?
Well, you had been talking about things, and then
Yeah, no, yeah. I was writing shit. Because I have an idea of what these spikes do and how they work. I will get to that here in a little bit when we're. What chapter? Wait, what chapter are we on? Right
that's the final chapter. I was going to do overview questions.
Oh, was it?
After this.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. But I wasn't. All right. Go ahead and do your overview questions, and then I'll go through what I have.
Right. Did Darkness want to say anything about the end of that chapter first, or should I go into the overview questions?
You can go into a review.
Alright, well, my first question is completely redundant because my first question was going to be who do you think is writing the epigraphs, but I think we've kind of already talked about that. So that question's kind of out the window.
I get the wonderfulness because I have an audiobook.
But yeah, so that's kind of out the window. That question there. My next question is, do you think we're going to get lots of Tensoon and Marsh point of views, and if so, do you think that means we're going to get lots of new information about, specifically from them, about how the Kandra and the Inquisitors work?
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if like Marsh got the fucking blessing of the presence one?
Blessing of Presence?
Yeah.
Do you think that would keep him from being controlled by Ruin?
No, imagine it kept him from getting like mad.
Oh,
like from
like he wants
mad.
to?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But yeah, what was the question?
The question was, do you think we're going to be learning a lot more about like the Kandra and the Inquisitors through like lots of Tensoon and Marsh point of views?
You said we were going to learn about all of this stuff in the book. Like,
yeah, I was saying like,
we'd still be confused about. So.
Do we think we're specifically going to be like getting like a bunch of their point of views, or are we going to be learning part of it from them and part of it from like other things in the book?
I feel like we're going to learn most of it from Sazed. The man to become a god.
Yeah, just waiting to see if Darkness had anything to say, but I guess not.
I think it's gonna be perspective. You know, like we're gonna learn it through them.
Also, do you think that our characters are going to be meeting up with Tensoon and Marsh at any point, or are they going to be kind of like separated, doing their own things throughout the book?
No, I definitely think there's going to be a collision of people. I think Tensoon's going to be like, he's going to go to this trial thing, and then he's going to become like he's going to be set as a task to like go help them or something. You know, like back to helping Vin, but this time for real. Or he's gonna escape, or the other option is he's gonna escape whatever this is and go back to Vin anyways. But I don't feel like
go back to Vin,
I don't feel like that's gonna be what's gonna happen. I think he's going back to Vin one way or another. Either he's gonna get tasked to do so, or he's gonna go there himself.
Also, we've already kind of had the main characters, it seems like, split up a little bit. Like Sazed and Breeze are in this one city, Vin and Elend are like all over the place. Do you think, considering like the other books, pretty much everyone was always all together, do you think we're going to get a lot more of everyone split up, or do you think they're going to meet up pretty quickly and have our kind of normal...
all be split up for a while.
We don't know where Spook is yet. We also don't know where Ham is. We don't know where Alrian is.
Spook is going to become an Inquisitor.
Okay. Anything else you got for your overview questions?
My last question was going to be kind of related to that last one, which is where do you think the other main characters that we haven't seen are currently? Like Spook and Ham and Demo, I think, is still alive.
Out doing their own things, I'm sure.
Spook
to
is
move.
currently getting kidnapped in order to be spiked. Look, my theories are not that bad. Like,
Well, why
No,
did
you
you?
just don't like Spook. That I mean, you know.
I think it would be cool.
No, I don't. I don't think Spook needs to become an Inquisitor. We already had Marsh do that.
Yeah, but like a little spooky Inquisitor action.
I mean, Spook idolized Kelsier so much, then he could be Marsha's little
Brother.
friend, little brother type thing. Because Marsh was Kelsier's brother, so he's like, I'm just gonna switch brothers.
No.
One mentor for the other. And then I have one more question, which is just where do you think the kind of overall like? I mean, we kind of know where the plot's going, but like, what do you think the overall like how the book's gonna go with it, and with like where the plot is our first kind of proper
They're
episode.
going to defeat Ruin or think they defeated Ruin, and
Oh
then
my god.
what?
Stace is gonna make everyone a fucking cowboy.
So he's just gonna make it through the cowboy.
Yeehaw!
Oh my god.
I think if you don't remember, I had confirmed that it was Era 2 is Wild West kind of
Yeah.
themed
Remember,
technology.
and then Era 3 is supposed to be space and futuristic or some shit.
No,
No, that's
as
4.
Era 4. Era 3
Oh,
is
it's 4.
Cold
I'm
War.
sorry.
Cold War?
Yeah, you're right. 4.
Yeah,
That was what
Cold
it
War
was.
era is 3.
Okay. So,
So go ahead,
here-
Mythic, with your any theories
here's
you guys
here's
have.
my theory crafting. Okay. Before the Inquisitors were made out of only the Mistings. They would go around and they would spike Mistings, whether they had to like capture them and then spike them, or they could just spike them. I think there's an ATM Misting that people don't know about because nobody swallows ATM because it's expensive as fuck. So there are people out there who have ATM Mistings but didn't know they were ATM Mistings, and they went around and they spiked them every so often. You know, like they would just touch them with the spike, or they would spike them in some way. Like I feel like it was at like those parties, you know, when they would just walk around and shit. They would just be like touching the spike to them or something, and like testing to see if they were ATM mistings, and then they would use that, and that's how they use ATM. And everybody they spike, any of the mistings they spike, that's how they get their powers. That and the spike has to probably stay in whoever the other person is. They probably spike through that person into the Inquisitor, and then they break it off in the middle or something, and then the power is being taken from the Misting and is being given to the Inquisitor itself, which means you would either have to keep that body or keep the person alive in like a cell or something somewhere. I don't know how you keep somebody alive. You spike through the heart, so it'd probably just be the body, or they just get the powers immediately. You know, one of the other. But I feel like there's an ATM out there. I want to figure out what the name's going to be of it because I feel like it would be really cool. But I kind of want to go with what Darkness said. It's going to be like the what are they fucking called? What's that name called? Of people? No, like the people who can see into the future. What are they called?
Sears?
Seers. Yeah, it's going to be like Seer or something like that. And then but like they basically they just go around. And that's why they tried to spike Ellen so that they could get his powers.
Imagine if Spook becomes a seer.
But Spook's already a 10-eye.
Exactly.
So, heck, I mean, there's not been any evidence that you can have two misting, like two powers.
It's
And
either
he
all
doesn't
or
have all the
nothing.
powers. Yeah, he doesn't have
Or
all the
all or
powers.
one,
It's
sorry.
all or one. Yeah, it's all or one. Or nothing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's my theory. I don't understand the placement yet, but I'll keep theory crafting that one till I can figure out why each placement is where it is, or if it has
You know
to
what'd
be.
be
But
low-key hilarious?
Hmm.
If like Elend was an ATM Misting.
and before he became
Yeah.
a Mistborn, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have another really big theory that giving ATM to people can cause them to awaken, like as Mistborns.
Snap.
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. Snap can cause them to snap if they were Mistborns, like just giving them ATM in general. And if they aren't Mistborns and they're actually ATM Mistings, they just be whatever the fuck Seers. Yeah, like I feel like it's
Imagine
expensive
that's
as
how
fucking
it
shit.
is.
Nobody fucking uses it.
Imagine that's how it is, and Kelsier just got hungry in the pits.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right? Like he accidentally ate ATM or something, and then he fucking
Where he like put it in his
boom.
mouth so that he could climb better up the.
Yeah, and he accidentally swallowed it, and then boom, he
He's
became
like,
a
oh
fucking.
shit.
Well, he implies, I think, in the first book, or even says that like he snapped after seeing
After he sees her, whatever the fuck.
what's her name? Why can't I remember her name?
Doesn't
Something
matter.
with an N?
Mare. After he sees Mare get killed.
Wow. This has been a pretty long podcast
It has.
episode.
But yeah, so
Really
that.
long fucking things. So you know.
Darkness, do you have any thoughts, or should I just tell you what chapters there are for next week?
Chapters.
Make sure you pin it.
Yeah, I will. So next week we are doing chapters 7 through 13. As I kind of said in the chat to you guys previously, these chapters are a
7
lot
through
shorter.
30?
13! Not 30.
Yay, Darkness is now doing it. I don't have to do it. Woo.
Darkness has done it before too. You guys both believe me on it.
Nope. Just me until now. Darkness now.
I was making sure you weren't misspeaking because, you've been doing it all fucking episode.
Yeah.
I know, I'm
all
sorry.
episode.
I've been so out of it this episode. I really apologize to everyone listening as well. I'm so sorry. It's been.
Don't apologize to them. They're plebeians.
Wow! Gonna scare away all our viewers or listeners. Why don't you say viewers? Because I'm used to streaming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are streaming at the same time. So,
I mean-
by the way, twitch.tv/corruptedmidnight.
I have all the links in the descriptions to all three of us.
But go to her only. Me and Darkness don't matter.
You guys matter. Anyways, so those are the
Sure.
chapters for next week. We will see you all next time. Thank you all so much for listening. And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.